Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. How are you today? How's everybody? What you doing? How are you? Yeah, DC. Yeah, it's all crazy like all the time. Yeah, but what you guys been doing all day? How's everyone? Oh, what? Oh. Oh, thank you. How are you guys today? Sorry about yesterday. I did feel like streaming yesterday, but what? Some stuff until someone comes on. Well, the PG's having a show today. Look about the PGs. Look about the PGs. Oh, today they're having Forge. Gorecast's 25th. Oh, they're going to be doing a show about the LDS Church. And then Dan talk with Dan Posse. He talks. And Partial Christianity. Wow. Wow. Is that crazy? Wow. Yeah. Let's go. What's up? People start. Kent versus Claude.
Well, his signature is the same on all three documents.
Yeah, but
I'm going to claim we stole 75 shirts that he paid $75 each for. What's like that?
We do have Claude, who had just come in. Welcome to the show. And do you have any questions or comments for Dr. Hovind?
hello, I am from La France. Hello from France.
Hey, bonjour, monsieur, comment ça va?
Oh, ça va.
Je parle très peu français.
Oh, the contract has the signature of Mark Rainey. What
Yes.
about the other signature?
Well, his signature is the same on all three documents.
Yeah, but also signed by Mr. Becker.
They were witnessed by Chris. He did not sign on.
Well, he must sign it for a valid contract. There are two signatures, aren't there? One from
A contract. It's just a Christian thing. Like, look, don't talk about it. Here comes Chris. Perfect timing, brother.
Yeah.
So it's not really a contract. It's a non-disclosure agreement. Chris, right here, brother. Okay. We got a caller from France here, who speaks French anyway.
Okay.
Parlez-vous français?
No.
No, me, okay. The thing is about Mark Rainey's signature.
Yeah.
Oh, get the mic where you can hear. Mark signed this in front of you, right?
Correct. Yeah. I, as the vice president and treasurer of the ministry, I have every new person that comes to the camp sign a packet of forms. One that tells our, one of them that tells the different various rules about living here, like tolerance for drugs and alcohol and premarital sex. And they sign that, and then they have a non-disclosure agreement, and they sign that. Another form that just kind of tells us more about the person, stuff like that.
Well, Claude was asking, why aren't there two signatures? Why didn't you sign it if it's a contract? It's not really a contract.
It's not a contract. It's a what we require of the people that are here for being here and being part of our group.
And that would be a distraction from the main question, as he's calling me a liar for claiming that's his signature.
Right. Yeah.
That's the real issue here.
Yep, that's his signature. He signed it right in front of me. It also kind of showed me, and we talked about this right after he signed everything, was it kind of shows his attitude, his lack of being a team player in all this.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
I would like to just point that even though we're asking him to be non-disclosure, there is nothing that hiding.
Right. Even though we have my wife disclosure agreement, it's not because we're hiding anything. It's to try to prevent people from spreading evil rumors about us after they leave, which many have done.
Right. And anything that's going to detract from the number one goal of everything that we do is to reach the lost. And anything that's going to cause disruption for us being able to cause focus in some other direction that really has no relevance is an absolute waste of breath, waste of air. And so therefore we try to minimize that as much as we can. And, I recently have resigned and have moved off Dinosaur Adventureland property and things of that nature. And it's not because of anything negative whatsoever. It's more or less, I got my wife down here, my son down here. I got my own home, and but we're still friends. I still come here. I love this place. I love the ministry, and I love the goal here, which is to point out how stupid evolution is.
Amen.
And to make sure that everybody knows that the way, the truth, and the life is Jesus, and that everybody needs to seek Jesus. I mean, that's the whole point.
Amen. All right, Claude, does that answer your question?
Yes, that is good. Mr. Rainey made many other allegations. Can you refute, thing about the money? What happens to the money? Make allegations.
Okay, I have not heard what allegations he's making. What's he saying about the money?
Yeah, he's saying that spending the money on things that
prostitution, many things.
Yeah, he said that I personally, because I'm the treasurer, he's saying that I have spent money on prostitution. Well, number one, I haven't even gone to prostitutes, period, let alone use ministry money for them. That's just such a strange thing to be saying. I've just been reconciled with my wife and things of that nature, because she was living up in Indiana while I was living down here, and we were having a little bit of marital issues, but we've worked things out. She's back with me. We're happy and all that sort of thing. That's absurd that he's saying that I'm spending ministry money on prostitutes. So
why would he? First of all, how would he know? And why would he say that? This is to take focus off of him.
Yeah. And then as far as the regular ministry money and stuff like that that's going on, we've got regular good records. We pay our bills. We are constantly doing projects and stuff around here. Nothing shady's going on with money. I don't know what else to really say.
Well, if a person who left here is upset about how the money is spent, is that code word for give it to me instead?
Yeah. The other thing that's kind of funny is at first he's like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Don't kick me out. Don't kick me out. Find a way for me to be able to stay. And then we're like, no, you've worn out your welcome. Okay, you guys are horrible. What kind of weight does that kind of a person have? Everybody that's mad that they leave here is mad because they don't get a stay. They're mad because we have asked them to leave and they really want to stay, but because we've asked them to leave, now they're mad at us and now we're horrible people.
Necessary. I mean, we're real tolerant here.
Yeah.
We go bend over backwards and go long, probably longer than we should on some.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Sandra, get a chair up here if you want to talk. Okay, grab it. Billy, get her a chair there. Okay.
He says something about Mr. Big Will. Is Mr. Big something or other? Mr. Big Will looking at the naughty picture on the computer in the dining room. Is that a lie too? Another
Yes.
lie? Yeah.
That was a lie. There was a little girl here who walked behind him just innocently, and there was a lady dressed in a long-sleeved gym suit. And she went to her mom and dad and said, just was looking at a girl on his phone. His dad did.
Aware of the people that are here for.
She's anything else. That's crazy. What else? Even the dictator? Canadian dictator. That was crazy. That's the first time I ever seen Claude. Claude.
Mr. Buck, that is for you. Okay, thank you, Father Charles. Destruction of mankind. If I sin, if I sin, thou markest me. Father Charles, Father Charles, Father Charles, if I sin, thou markest me. And if I sin, thou markest me.
GangsterTV has a problem with that.
Father,
Being a.
He reads the Necronomicon, I think.
Isn't that
No.
you summoned me.
Yeah, I used that term and I didn't even notice.
Claude, get the steak. He mentioned evolution. You get the pitchfork. Just felt
If anybody, I have put out more fires as your devil for you. I'm trying to make it very simple, direct, and straightforward. These are the things that are causing. I don't know how else I can illustrate it, buddy. And people.
Wow, that's crazy. This stuff takes you back. Watching old school takes you back. Back in the good old days, crazy, man. What about some good old Burger Pike?
Well, Brother Pike, he's a man of his word. Got his boots on tight, never looks absurd. But when it comes to something, you see him in shorts, no way not to be. Why don't I wear shorts? Brother Pike would say, it's not my style, not my way. I like my pants all day and night. Keeps me looking sharp.
What he hugs himself. He hugs himself.
Well, Brother Pike, he's a man of his word. Got his boots on tight, never look summer heat. You'll never see him in shorts, no way not a beat. Why don't I wear shorts? Brother Pike would say, it's not my style, not my way. I like my pants all day and night. Keeps me looking.
So funny. Burger pie. Burger pie. Burger pie. He's just a funny little guy. Burger pie. Oh, who's here? The great, the one, the only David the Zealot.
What's up, Gangster Zealot? How you doing on TGIF, buddy?
Yeah, TGIF. How are you today? Do you see my song about Burger Pie?
I did. I saw you hanging out by yourself, listening to some Brother Pike. I said, let me drop in before he gets going. Say what up to my buddy.
Thank you, buddies. How are you today?
Man, I'm doing good. I got a fellowship, a men's fellowship tonight with my church, with the men in my church. So that should be fun.
Oh, that's good. Are you going to? That's nice. Do you go to churches on Sundays and Wednesdays?
I go every Sunday. Sometimes on Wednesday. Sometimes on Fridays. I go as often as I can, honestly.
Oh, that's good. Anita, you know Claude? He's a ex-Catholic.
Yeah.
Not crazy?
Yeah. No, well, that's not too crazy. There's a bunch of those.
Yeah, that's crazy. I seen this. I did this one video of the Pope where I changed him to different people.
Yeah, I saw the brother Pope Pipe too. And then I saw the Pope was doing the Elon Musk thing.
Yeah, I seen a lot of people do that. Taylor Swift, all those guys.
You're funny. That
Yeah.
got you fired up, huh, gangster?
Yeah, and but this Pope I don't really care for. I like the other Pope better. What was the other guy?
Benedict.
Pope Benedict? Is that guy?
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a better Pope. Yeah. But if they had you as Pope, you would be the greatest Pope that ever been since Peter, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, I'd try my hardest. That's for sure.
You're a great
zealot. You're a pretty good zealot yourself, gangster.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah. Oh, it was crazy. I actually seen Lupin come on here. He showed me the building he was staying at when he went to that one place. He looked outside. It was crazy.
Well, I haven't seen him in a while, Lupin.
Yeah, he was at the where the Trump.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were telling me that. You saw him on the TV.
Yeah, on here.
That's like a real life
crazy.
Forrest Gump incident. Yeah, when Jenny saw Forrest Gump on the TV.
Watch this.
Oh! Hey, guess what else? Guess what else I'm doing tonight, gangster?
What?
I'm doing a Bible study.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm doing that in the Zealous Den. I'm gonna record it. It might come out tomorrow or Sunday.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that Bible study thing out.
Oh, what are you starting about? What were you starting about?
We're gonna do the Acts of the Apostles.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we're gonna look at what happened at the beginning of the church.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna tell you this one thing. Don't be a sad Lupin.
Be a happy Lupin.
See?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Guys, which Bible do you use?
I use the Catholic edition. So we have Bibles that are approved by the Catholic Church. I don't believe so.
Oh, what about the American Standard Bible?
He looks sad. He looks happy. He looks crazy.
What about the American Standard Bible? Is that one?
I don't believe so. So usually they have like the CS after it. So that stands for like Catholic Standard.
Oh.
Yeah, because we got the best Bibles, gangster. Oh. What are you up to this weekend?
Nothing much.
No big plans. Getting ready for London?
Yeah, that's gonna be July. I can't wait. It's gonna be
You can't wait. I can't wait for you, man.
Yeah. In London, that's where I'm gonna go to. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, you should go check out check out the Catholic churches.
Yeah, I like to see what they're like there.
You should.
Have Catholic churches in England?
Oh, of course. We have them. We have the most churches out of all the people, gangster.
Wow. What about? I definitely know it's in Ireland. Catholic.
Yeah, it's big, and so over where I'm from, there's a bunch of Irish Catholic.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
No, I never
UK
left
too?
the United States.
I've already been out of the.
Hey, gangster, you're gonna need a passport. Nice. Look at you ahead of the game. You already got your flight tickets?
Well, not yet, but how will first?
So, from my understanding, the earlier you get them, the cheaper you can get them.
Oh. Zealot,
Zealot?
how are you doing?
The Sand Zealot. I'm good, Sand Zealot. Thanks for asking, brother. Happy TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. You know that's what TGIF stands for, gangster? Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
I worked at one many years ago.
Hey,
Hi,
Gigi.
Joey.
Hey, Zealot. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Yeah, I can't wait to go to England there. Yeah, I can see that.
You gonna say hi to the king?
Visit the London.
I know no king except
Yeah.
Jesus.
Are you gonna mess with those guards that they have with the funny hats like Austin Powers did?
Nah. But I'm gonna take this one picture for Achilles about the where they got all the Greek stuff at. And take one
Nice.
for Achilles. Right, Joey?
I'm sorry. I was reading the chat a little bit. I'm sorry. I didn't catch it.
Oh, that's all right.
Boy, Flower, he's something else. He's something else, boy.
Yeah, yeah, and England, yeah, here's that. And I definitely know Catholics big in Southern Ireland. All right.
What is it?
Catholics.
What'd they do?
Are they big in Southern Ireland?
Oh, that's a good question. So I know Ireland has like a whole war going on, North and Southern Ireland.
Yeah.
I believe they're in both of them, but one of them might be. Yeah, that's a good question. I think one of them's more Protestant. That's a good question, gangster. Something for me to look into, actually.
I mean, there are Irish Catholics, though. That's my father's side of the family.
Oh yeah, definitely. But he did. I do know they like Ireland has a whole war against each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it has to do something religious, if I'm not mistaken. I know it has to do with one wants to be part of UK and one wants to remain Ireland.
Yeah.
Ireland's had quite a history, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't Ireland have in their constitution that they can trace it all the way back to the tribes? Is that Ireland or is that Scotland?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's
maybe
Ireland.
Ireland though. So I have an Irish buddy who he calls himself the Catholic pagan zealot. So so maybe that's what he's referencing there.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried to tell him it was an oxymoron, but he said no.
And trust me, I can lay it out, brother. Trust me. What's sorry if I missed it, Gigi, but what's the underlying foundation? Like, what's the purpose of the trip? Just vacation or what? What?
Yeah, to visit my friend and stuff and visit.
Okay, right
the
on.
UK.
Good deal, man. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I have ancestors from all UK, England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland.
You'll have to stream over there. Start a new thing. Where in the world is Gangster Ghosts? You'd be like the new Carmen San Diego gangster.
Yeah, that crazy. Can't wait to go and yeah, it would be so crazy. Well, have you ever been, Joey? Have you ever been to another country?
Just California.
That's good. That's good. I've never been there, but I'm still on that.
Oh, know who lives there? Dan Posse.
There's a couple people on these chats. Latin A's from there. Josh Music's from there. There's another guy who was from Northern California. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, is that crazy? Do you live? Where are you originally from, Joe? Are you originally from?
Not at all. I'm originally from Indiana.
East Coast. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. You said that. You're from the Hoosier State.
Yeah, from the cornfields, brother. Originally from Indiana, but my father died when I was like 9 or 10, and then my mother moved us down to the coast, North Carolina, right at the beach. So cornfields to oceans. That was a big culture shock. I mean, like where I'm from, they had rat tails, right? That was the thing. And when I got down to Carolina,
I grew up with those.
Those boys in Carolina, though, they had half their head shaved. They were doing skateboards. I was like, whoa, it was a whole different world, man. But that's awesome. I've never been out of the country, not even to Mexico. Didn't even go over to Tijuana, man. So I think that's awesome, Gigi. I really do.
Yeah, have fun, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. The club. Oh, yeah. What would you do if you actually you went there and you made you the new king of England?
Me?
What would you do?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I don't know what I would do. I don't even know how to be a king. I can't even be a regular dude. Are you kidding me? I question myself every day.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Have enough trouble taking care of myself, never mind the whole country.
That's right. I got enough problems. That's what I said on the stream. I got to answer for myself. I ain't even trying to answer for all you heathens. Ain't no way. So I'm just stopping by.
Yeah,
like,
that'll be great.
Go ahead, Gigi. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
I was just gonna say I'm just stopping by. I have no idea what the topic is or anything. I'm just coming to chit chat. I don't mean to.
I got some things to do. I was just trying to get Gangster's stream going. So hopefully, C-Cell or Claude hops on up here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for dropping by.
Yeah, always a pleasure. I love the picture you got in the name, Joey. That's one of my favorite. Calls it how he sees it.
That's right. Especially after the stream we just had, brother. I don't know if you saw any of Misty mods, but it was like 2.5 hours of craziness.
No, just now. I heard it was a TED Talk.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I hope that everybody understands that I'm not trying to sway you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to tell people the truth, and that's it.
That's all we can do, man.
Amen.
But yeah, if I don't catch you guys, have a good weekend. I'll probably see you guys Sunday if nothing else.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be listening. Have fun.
All right, David. Be good, brother.
Take care, brother.
Hi, David.
Later, gangster.
Later. Thank you for joining. Joey, you know, the power guys, now they're going to be going after the Mormons, the LDS church. It's going to take them down.
Well, they won't be the first ones who have done it, but you know, I think there's a good luck. I mean, they don't need luck. It's going to be easy, but you know, I think it's causes a lot of strife and a lot of division.
Yeah. Have you ever had a Mormon come to Dallas Adventureland?
Yeah, I'm sure we have. I mean, they haven't addressed themselves as such, but I'm sure we have.
What about Jehovah's Witnesses?
Probably, more than likely. I used to work right beside a Jehovah's Witness. You know, me and him would sit when we're not busy and talk scripture all day. I mean, you know, it's still fellowship. It still counts, and you know, you don't beat them over the head with anything. You just kind of slide in nuggets of truth, and that's it.
Who's this guy?
The Layman's Cemetery. I don't know. I know the Layman's Seminary though.
Oh, who is he? Is he working for the Illuminati?
I don't know. Oh, okay. Invite him on. Let's ask him.
Join.
Let's see.
Yeah, do you think... Oh, have you ever... Truck Driver Billy?
Yeah, I have. I didn't meet him. Like, I know who he is. I saw him. I saw his truck. I know for a fact he was there, but I wouldn't say that I met him. Like, we didn't sit there and chit chat and things like that, but I know he was there. He come through there. He come through there skimping for information, bribed Will with a couple packs of tobacco. Yeah, I know for a fact he was there.
Oh. Yeah, he was there. He has his own show, his own, I think, 2 channels now.
Yeah, I know. I had a big back and forth with Mark Rainey on his channel one time.
Oh. So. Was he raining?
Nah.
If it's rainy? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Mark's all right. He just gets in his own way, like we all do. Nothing disparaging about him, man. Mark is just he's more hard-headed than I am. You know, he believes something. That's all there is to it. You ain't gonna get him off of it.
Have you? I remember one of the time you did a show on Proverb Guys. You said you debated Mark Stoney before.
Not an official debate, no. Just kind of like what I was saying with Missing Mod about how we used to have those fellowship times. We used to call it the arena. We get into the battle dome, right? Like at the end of the night, we'd get into the garage and just start. It normally, like 9 out of 10 times, it ended up coming down to me and Yia versus Aaron and Mark over Doctrine. But that was it.
What's his name?
Hey, hold on one second, brother. Somebody's outside honking their horn. Hold on one second.
They better not make him mad. He's a tough guy. You tick him on. He's the great Joe Latech guy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, this.
All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right.
Hey, I like Pringles.
What was this guy's something trunk? Nick something? Nick Shrunk?
Shunk, yeah. I met Nick. Yep.
Do you think he sounds just like Dan Posey?
He does. Not just like him, but they favor. They really do.
Yeah. First time we met him, we recognized that it had the exact same voice. Thought he might have been the same guy. Yeah, is that crazy? Yeah, it was a little crazy. Like, but
It's funny. Dan's got a distinctive voice.
Yeah, it sounds just like him. What if he is him?
What if he is?
Okay.
Hold on, let me text. Sorry, GG. I'm gonna mute real quick. I'll be right back.
That's all right. Yeah, everybody. How are you today? Gangster Steven here.
Oh, that was awesome with the cornrows.
That's an older picture. I put his face on. Okay. What?
Nick is like Dan Posey, but with a brain.
He's a crazy guy. Cold. But
Nick is a hell of a builder. I'll tell you that.
Oh. Did he build anything with Steven Bowling?
I have no idea. Idea.
I need to tell you, I found a picture of Kent when he was a kid.
No, you didn't.
See?
It's close. I like the SpongeBob.
I wonder what Kent would think of that. What do you think he would think?
He'd just laugh at it.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Aiden. Why don't you? What?
Grow a pear. Hey, grow an orange. Grow a watermelon. Or just grow a pear.
Is Aiden here? I don't know, but oh, hi. Yeah, Assel's here. But yeah. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Can't have an open streams.
I don't think that. I don't know. It could work, but he's got to do it differently. He's going to have to run it through OBS so that OBS can use the Clean Stream plugin and edit or bleep out live video for when the haters and the trolls come on there and try to get their remarks in. It's going to be difficult for him to do it just through Restream.
Yeah, I seen that one day when Lupin was on there. A guy's I guess went off on Ken on there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It happens, you know, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna continue to happen. I mean, Doc draws a lot of haters, but if he just wants to do it, he can do it. There's no worries. But if he wants to do it without any of that type of stuff, he's gonna have to try to go through OBS, and that's very difficult when you're set up to go through a different streaming platform. And they're trying, though. That's why they're having the problems with the audio and things like that, because they're trying to route it. They're trying to use Restream as the main camera capture, but then they're trying to push that over to OBS and go live from OBS so that they get the clean stream plugin and they can edit it live or bleep it out live and filter it live, rather, I guess is what I should say. And then go right back to Restream for the actual streaming. Hey, Missy Mod, thanks for having me today. It was great.
Oh, that's yeah. He's a great guy. If he thinks he would have someone take over if he retires or something, who do you think it would be?
Well, I would hope that it would be Matt Powell. But that's just me, right? Like, I have no idea Matt Powell even wants the job. I'm just saying somebody like a Matt Powell would be great, right? He's qualified, great wife, children. He's stable. He understands what's up. He's fighting the good fight. I absolutely love Brother Powell, and I'm praying for him every day. But yeah, it doesn't mean he wants the job. I'm just answering a question. I would love to see Matt Powell take over something like that.
If he does it, I think should they have Steven take
Steven
over?
would be another great one. I mean, he's going to draw just as many haters as Doc, though, at this point, right? And
yeah,
that would be the issue there. But he's not scared, and I wouldn't be scared for him. I would support that 100%.
Yeah, he could have Achilles come there to teach about Achilles.
I didn't think you were going to say that, but okay.
Yeah, and well, he could. Well, Dan, he could go there, and Frank. I mean, not Frank. Dan, he could go there. The Pause Father.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and they could do show live.
Dan's really good. Dan, he does his designer talk, and he talks about, he almost follows suit with the well, I wouldn't say he follows suit, but I mean, this happens a lot in the creationist world. But what was Doc's series? Making Babies, right? Like, Dan does a lot of that on the designer talk. He kind of gets into that realm of how these things couldn't have evolved, and it's pretty good stuff. Yeah, Claude, that's what I was laughing at. That's what I thought Gigi was gonna say.
Yeah, Dan could go there too. He could have Dan be his top man, and Achilles too. They could run Dinosaur Adventureland and take over the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they could do live shows from there, and they could also talk about grown fruit, because Steve likes to grow fruit. He always check to make sure people are growing good fruit. So I think he would like Joseph, not Josh. He grows some good fruit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But have you seen any his shows lately?
No, I missed the last couple. I mean, I've jumped in, but I haven't been really paying attention. I've jumped right back out.
Oh, did you know his one channel got taken
I heard
down?
about that. I just heard about it yesterday, though. I don't know when it happened. Excuse me, but I just heard about it yesterday. And
Yeah, that's
it's par for the course. It happens every now and then. That's what I was saying on Mod's channel.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, if you're catching flack, you must be over the target. And that's the way I'd see it. I know a lot of his trolls and a lot of his haters say, you know, I never reported him. But come on, somebody is. And it doesn't have anything to do with anything serious. I mean, he's not in there calling for genocide. He's not in there calling for anything crazy. It's just he believes something you don't believe in, so and you don't have a good response to that, or you don't want to have the argument, so you just report. That's crazy to me. But I think the bigger issue though is with platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and things like that, who enjoy the protections of being a platform, but they want to act like they're publishers and shut people down for what they say. I mean, they're trying to play both sides against the middle. And I think that's the bigger issue. And there was one point in our politics where we were addressing that, but then all of a sudden they kind of fell off. Now all of a sudden nobody worries about it anymore. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I would love to see Steven take over Dallas or Rancherland. He will rule the world.
You don't want the job?
No, that should be Steven. He's good at it.
What about Pope Pike?
Yeah. That's funny. But I think Steven would do an awesome job. And he could put Dan on his thingamajiggy. He can run and they can all live there. Maybe even Keys can move to America and live there. He could be his right-hand man. And Dan could be his left-hand man.
I don't know. If I lived in Greece, I think I'd stay there. I don't think I'd come to America.
But it's very greasy there. That'd be awesome.
Grease is the word that you heard.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. But have you ever did you went to college too? Like get a PhD?
Me? No. Definitely no. No, I'm blue collar. No.
Oh. Yeah. Would you ever have you ever been to another country?
No, like I said, just California. That's close as I've ever been to another country. No.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah. Would you ever go to Canada, eh?
Yeah, I'd love to go to Canada. There's a couple of people I'd like to meet out there. Besides Donnie, there's brother David had a great ministry out there in the about 2010, 2015. There was brother David, Love Ministries, and he did really great work. Really, really great work. I don't see him much anymore. I hope he's doing well. I don't know what he's getting into. But yeah, I would love to go to Canada. I mean, even for the landscape and the atmosphere, Canada is huge and it's absolutely beautiful. I'd love to see it.
Would you ever like to? What if you run into Aiden?
Is that where he's at?
Yep. He's Canadian.
That explains a lot, eh?
Yeah. No else is from Canada? Sandman.
Oh. Okay. I don't have anything. I don't know about Sandman. I've seen him in the chat, but I don't think we've ever bumped heads too much.
Yeah, you did on here. You talked to him.
No, I know that. I don't think we've ever bumped heads too much.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Would you ever go to France with Claude?
Nah, I don't think so. It has nothing to do with Claude, but you know, I don't like frogs or snails or the rest of their food. Yeah, I like fries. But that's just talking about the way they cook them, though.
Well, I asked, do you ever have Chick-fil-A?
I have. You mean the Lord's chicken? I have.
Yeah,
it's decent. It's huge, though, man. There's no doubt they hit that with hormones and inject them and stuff like that. There's no way that's good.
Yeah. You ever had KFC? Well, I need to tell you something. I looked up Syria. I found out it's not actually a Christian country. It's a secular Muslim country.
Not when it was getting bombed. We'll look it up again.
Oh, not when it was getting bombed?
Yeah, hold on a second. We'll look up it again. But I know that leader was not Muslim. He was Christian.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought.
No, that's all right. I'll be right back. I'll prove my claim. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Okay, sorry about that. Hi, asshole. You want to come on, little guy? He's just crazy little guy, ain't you? French food. Just what about French toast? Is it just called toast there? Well, and the other toast called American toast? Well, what type of toast? Has it been toast? Toast. Yeah, remember this? You better behave yourself around here. Father Chuck is watching you. Oh, sorry. Oh, what do you say? Yeah, like this. It's crazy. Oh, Aiden is a witch. Here's my proof. He's a witch. Oh, knew it. Teddy bear, we missed you, little guy.
I haven't been gone that long.
But it's like a decade. Like centuries. Like this guy.
Well, it's been a day or two, so that's like what, 1 or 2,000 years to God.
1,000 years.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen this?
Well, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one. The stony ones.
What about this?
Yep, Aiden.
It's Charles Darwin.
So that's pretty sad when you've got enough to let these sit for months at a time, do all your new ones, and go back and everybody remembers the other ones, and they're still funny. Outstanding, dude.
Creeps you out. He stares.
No, I thought it was the other. Wait, what? I thought it was the other one that creeped. Yeah, that's the one you always said creeped you out. Not that the other one doesn't. You know, I can see why you would, but usually this is the one you said that you would say would creep you out every time you did. I would chuckle. I don't know why. I just thought it was funny when you said it, and I knew it was coming.
Yeah, this is the first picture of Achilles, the great Achilles.
Yeah, and the end of this picture, it shows Achilles throwing the spear in his own foot. But no, it's good to reply to something that Claude said, and I think it's funny because Mom, when my dad was still alive, he got to go, or he had to go to Belgium to put a massive big piece of equipment through work, and he was only supposed to be there for like 3 weeks. Well, it ended up being months. So his company sent my son and my mom, and I could have went, but I had to work, over there to visit, him, since he was over there so much longer. So they ended up going to like London, France. They were in Belgium, Germany, because they drove on the Autobahn. I remember that story. But anyway, the point being that they went into a French restaurant to eat, and Mom, asked the waiter about, did you really serve, snails here or whatever? And it's kind of what Claude was saying. And the waiter, asked, "Are you American?" And she's like, "Yeah." He said, really more, I guess, tourist, according to Claude, take that as the escargot as French, cuisine, or like that's what they eat instead of pancakes or something. But when I seen Claude say that, I just thought that was funny. It brought back memories of when they went over there. And if you ever go to Belgium, don't ever, order a hamburger, because my son ordered a hamburger and it came back basically a raw or sausage patty, and I forgot what they call it, but that was their version of hamburger.
Wow.
So they said, ended up, basically send it back, you cook it, do this, that, and the other. And so, yeah, they never ordered that again. So you have to be careful when you travel to different countries, because it's not, automatically, food that you may know or recognize are the same as what you're used to, because you are dealing with, different cultures.
Oh.
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Oh, Cax. Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be so crazy. Joseph the tech guy's gonna be proud.
Okay, I'm just saying that back to what you were saying. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother. If you guys want to keep going with that, that's fine.
Oh no, that's why I shut up, because you guys are talking. I'm not trying to interrupt.
Oh no, I just
add to it if anything, or
I was just getting my facts corrected. Trump bombed Syria twice on the false allegations that he had attacked his own people with chemical weapons, sarin gas, they tried to say. But Assad was Christian, and he didn't do that. and it was proven later by the guy that Trump fired that he didn't do it. And I got the report. I mean, it's okay. It's not a huge deal. I'm just saying these are the issues that my bigger point was, this is why I don't walk party lines, right? This is why I'm not woo Trump all the way, because it comes with some dumb stuff that I don't agree with, and I'm not going to defend. That was all.
That's why he fired that one
You're
guy.
right.
He was angry over
Well, it turns out that
Trump.
the guy tried to tell him that it was false information, and I think Trump fell for it anyways because it was his first time around, and he thought that he was Trump and people were just going to listen to him. And I think he had to learn the hard way that this political game is more of a bigger game of chess than he even understood.
Yeah.
Right? It's like do you guys remember Cersei from the Game of Thrones? It's kind of like that,
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of moving pieces that I think even Trump was surprised by, whether he'd admit it or not.
Well, try being an atheist voting for Trump. You don't get a welcome.
Dude, I bet that's a stretch, man. I couldn't imagine how you would have to work your brain around that. I really don't.
Well,
especially because as a Christian vote,
I've actually got into it before, over just that issue, and because no one's telling me how to vote, what to say, what term to use, yada yada yada. Unless there's good reasons behind it. But I'm not a Trump fan though, and that's just it. I'm not. But to me, it was the worst of two evils. First I would have had a hard time trying to decide between Trump and Biden. Well, then obviously he become comatose, got replaced by Clown Mala, and that for me was an even easier decision to vote for Trump than Clown Mala. But the best I could have done to the like the people that are pro-trans, that were in my old group, was that I just wouldn't vote then, because it wasn't that important to me, because it was so tight, and both party or both candidates are worthless in my opinion. Then it's like, well, not voting, it's like vote for Trump. It's like, okay, I might as well vote for Trump then, because that's the best I can do. I'm not voting for Biden or Clown Mala because of my principles. And if people don't like that, that's on them, not me.
Amen.
Yeah, she salutes.
They're trying to put that on Elon right now, like he did that twice, I guess.
Yeah, that made it.
He was just throwing his heart to people. He just was very excited and made a mistake. He made it like throwing his heart out to the people and stuff, right? What do you think, Diddy?
Oh yeah, sorry, buddy. I was trying to turn down my TV all the way just to make sure I can hear it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what he doing. He did meant it to be like that. It's just, you could tell what he was.
I mean, when I looked at the first few times, it's like, okay, maybe, but then the more I got, it doesn't look like it's a forced, thing. And generally, when somebody does that salute, if this whole, Hell Hitler or whoever it may be, not saying words as you're, like waving at the crowd or whatever it may be, and maybe it was intentional. I'm not making an issue of it. If he's going to do something even stupider eventually. They all do.
Amen.
I mean, if I like Elon, he's still going to do something stupid or say something stupid. I can, Trump's a given. It's coming.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. But I can be honest about it. But, there's.
But that's the problem, though. You nailed it earlier, Teddy. When you vote for the less of two evils, you still voted for evil. And
right,
exactly. You got to deal with that. Yeah, you can't win.
But at least I can sleep better knowing that I voted for the better of my choices, and not because, a group of people say, hey, no, you need to vote, for this because trans people are dying. Well, there's people, and I'm not trying to minimize that. I'll clear that up right now. But there's roughly, what is it? Every 2 hours, a homeless Vietnam vet is taking his own life. But I don't hear that getting stirred up anywhere, or anybody's concerned, about these guys that sacrificed their lives for us.
That's right. Amen, brother.
So I'm big on that. And
what about the trans people? What about the trans people who get their surgery and then they still commit suicide? I mean, where does that leave the whole argument? You know what I mean? Like, is that still the people in the red? Is that still their fault when they got what they wanted, but they still killed themselves?
Right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I think trans rights are important, but to what degree? That's what
I
I'm
mean,
trying to decide now. I mean, I was asked just the other day, if I was pro-trans. Well, to me, that's not a yes or no question. That'd be like me saying, "Hey, Joe, do you like sports?" And you say yes. Well, do you like soccer? And you say no. Do you like tennis? Well, no. So, that's not necessarily a yes or no question. You might say, "Yeah, I like some sports, or I don't like other sports." It's answered.
Well,
Whereas,
to me, it falls into that category of Black Lives Matters. Yes, they do. 100% without fail, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter.
Exactly. So that's where I'm
Do
at.
trans lives matter? Absolutely, because it falls
Right.
in the category of all lives matter. Yes, it
Right.
does.
I
Yeah.
don't want to see anybody die before for whatever thing, especially and screw it. I'm gonna, I separate it, I guess, for me, or maybe somebody's told me I compartmentalize it, but to me, it's the mental illness, that can come from not just trans, just from anybody that has a problem, with it, whether it's daily life grind or you're lonely or reliving a bad experience, you're still upset about losing we all go through that.
Yeah, Teddy, I think that's the bigger issue, right? We
Yeah.
we all
So-
have problems, and we all have a depression just waiting around the corner to bring us
Right.
down, right? I think that's the bigger issue. Like,
Right.
why are things so horrible in this country that we are living and dying on this one little hill instead of a mountain?
Right. Like I said, I'm making sure I'm not minimizing any group or saying but really, I mean, that's what got me set. When they started the BLM thing, to me, it's like, screw that. All lives matters, which would include Black lives,
Correct.
which would include Latinos, which would include Asians, Americans,
Even trans, yeah, even trans,
and trans
lives.
people.
Right.
But, the Black
That's not
Lives.
to say I'm going to grab a picket sign and get out there in the streets with you, because I wholly disagree. Right?
Right.
But your life does matter to me, whether you
Right.
believe it or not. Like, don't think just because of the way I vote that I just want to go ahead and kill you and write you off, and you're no longer necessary or important in the whole fabric of humanity. That it doesn't work that way. There's some nuance there. There's some gray area that we need to get into and really figure out what in the hell is going on with this country. Like, why are we even talking about? We have so many issues in this country. Why are we even talking about this? Right? This seems such a small issue in the waiting.
What about our children not being safe in school? To me, would be a bigger priority.
Amen. Exactly.
I know this is going to catch. I'm going to catch heat for this, but sorry, there's so many issues we have. How many can we actually change or do something about? Before you drag yourself in the ground trying to defeat every unjust cause out there.
Man, you said a mouthful right there. Like, what are we going to do? Right? Are we going to live and die on every single perceived infraction upon our feelings? Right?
Right.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, hopefully humane people, not people that yes, I don't agree with, say, your politics, your sexual partners, or things like that. So screw you. No, not at all.
No, I don't have to agree with those, though, because you know what?
Oh yeah, I mean,
quite frankly, it's none of my business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another reason. I mean, really, whether you support it or not, it's not going to change it. But
Right.
for you as a person, what kind of person do you want to be? And I'm not saying necessarily you.
I understand that.
Okay, just make sure that the thought process.
No, but I agree. That's what I'm saying. I agree with
Yeah.
you. Even as somebody who would be like, if I never picked a red or a blue team, just stating what I thought, a lot of people would automatically lump me in the red side. I know
Right.
that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right. I just know that going in, and it bothers me a little bit, but it doesn't really bother me. I mean, it is what it is, but that doesn't mean that on an individual level, I don't care about you. I am more interested in you than the political landscape.
Right.
And I think that if me and you could have a conversation, we could gain much more ground than all these politicians would in 100 years.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
it.
'cause we don't have the red tape to cut through, We
Right.
can see the
Plus,
bullshit
I'm
in
not
each
trying to
other.
win a vote. I'm
Right.
just trying to talk to
Right.
you. I'm not trying to impress a million people
Right.
and win a vote.
So we're not trying to win the debate, the whatever. We're just, tossing thoughts out there and goes there. But where I really got, literally almost sick was, and this is from the left, or some people, that I know that are atheists, but when somebody almost gets assassinated, Yes, Trump's an asshole, but does he really deserve to die? But then hearing people saying, "Oh my gosh, they missed," or "Oh my gosh, why couldn't they just, ended his life," sort of thing. To me, that is, that's the sick stuff that really gets to me. Like that CEO guy who got, shot and killed. Did he really do something that bad that removing his life from, the earth solved anything anyway?
Right. The show's going on, right?
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's like,
I mean,
this
you
world
think
is screwed
everybody
up, and
thinks that something happened, but nothing happened. It's still going on. They've replaced
Right.
him later that day. People who have no feelings and no care
Right.
replaced him within hours, and his
Yeah.
show goes on.
Yeah. Because I mean,
And
he doesn't set prices. He didn't set, a lot of this stuff. He tried to run the company as a whole to do what? Make money.
Right, but that doesn't mean that I agree with what he was doing.
Oh
Right?
no. That's what I'm saying though. But I'm saying, just rhetorically,
Exactly.
what did he really do that deserved,
Right. Like who are
death?
who are you to put yourself in the judge's seat?
Right, exactly.
Right? And decide for the whole world that this guy needs to die. Okay. And you did it. And then now all these people are coming out of the woodwork. They're sending you their panties in the mail and they're telling you how pretty you are and how great a job you did. But you still have to answer for that.
Yep.
Right. Like, and that's what people are missing. They're getting so caught up in the emotions of it that they're not standing back looking at about, does it really matter? Did anything change at all? And I don't think so. I think it was just another tool. I think it's another, what do they call that? Where you move the Overton window, right?
Yeah.
Like all we've really done is make it one step closer to being okay to assassinate your political opponent. And I think that's very, very dangerous.
Which to me is more Nazi-like than, what everybody's worried about Trump doing,
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I mean. It's all comical when you get down to it, even though it's awful. It's absolutely awful.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like there's a real answer in sight, or at least one that could appease everybody to get something done about it.
Because the goal, brother, is not to find an answer. The goal is to keep us fighting. As long as we're fighting with each other, we're not paying attention to them. And that's the ultimate goal. And nobody catches on to that. They're all like blue, 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 red, red, red. Then nobody's really paying attention that it doesn't matter who wins. The show goes on. I could show you videos of politicians on both sides that have changed their answers to the exact same questions.
Oh yeah.
Five years later, because they see where the world is going. They're like, okay, now I gotta hate sugar. Now I gotta hate bacon. Now I gotta hate this. It's just absolutely nuts, and people are falling for it left and right. It sucks so bad.
Anything for a buck, and to me, that's why I could never be a politician, because I couldn't lose my integrity, by basically having opinion that, sways in the wind depending on who it is and what it is. Kind of like it, to me, it's like when Kamala was on the campaign trail, basically the same speech, but 14 different accents saying the same thing. And that's not real.
I got hot sauce in my purse right now.
Yeah. Gee, I got my gun right here, guys. No, I don't care if you say it in an Irish pit stop
dialect.
or campaign stop in Boston, or if you're out, talking to the Native Americans for some reason, you think you're a squaw. Fact is, you're not convincing anybody.
That's right.
To me, that's what lost the left the election, or part of it anyway.
But you realize, like, we're in a minor smallest bubble you can get on that, though. Right? There are so many people who just believe whatever they see on the television. Right. And that's the most disconcerting part, man. Like, there are so many people who just simply do not, I'm not going to say cannot, but they do not think for themselves. They're just happy to sit back and let somebody else tell them what to believe.
When it comes to the politician or politics, that's my mom. Me and if I could record how many times my mom get into it. I mean, not knock down, drag down, but just, Mom, that's not true. That's not, that's propaganda. Because, I mean, she's Fox News. That's almost always on in the living room. And I rarely go in there. And it makes her mad because she wants to talk to me or, be around me. But it's like, I'm not listening to this garbage. I'm not listening to CNN, and I'm not going to listen to a lot of these, one-sided, biased, news things. And then here I come back to YouTube, I mean, this probably hasn't happened for a while, but several months or almost by a year ago, that's all I kept hearing from some of the people on the left. Oh, you just watched too much of that Fox News. It's like I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch any news. I'm a sports guy. That's it.
It's it's all you and Jesse Waters. You're the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, and I don't even like Jesse that or Hannity or the other clown,
Those are all staples. They're all old
Sucker
school.
Tucker. That's who I call him, but who's no longer there.
Oh, come on, you can't cuck the tuck. Come on.
Oh, I do not like that. He was the first one I didn't like. You know, and then that Laura Angle. I just learned to hate these people because even if in the kitchen I can kind of hear it a little bit, or my mom will scream, or hey, come here, look what they're doing now. It's like, Mom, it's me. No. Well, I thought you'd care. I said I care, but I care less. I'm not going to get my information, the same way that you do.
Right,
There's resources.
It's being filtered through a certain angle, so through a certain lens. So it's not what they're saying is wrong, but they're not exactly telling you what is happening.
Right,
They're more focused. Yeah, they're more focused on telling you how you should feel about it, and that is the bigger issue.
Right. Yeah, because go ahead, Gigi.
Oh, sorry. I heard CNN is doing very bad. And
do you know, unless that's changed to the last, I was surprised that the Trump supporter owns CNN. Or am I mistaken there? I mean, I heard that. I haven't even fact checked. I don't care. But that's just it. Like when my mom starts with the Fox News, it's got to be true. It's like, okay, let's switch it over to CNN and see what they say.
Well, I thought the CIA owned CNN. Well, not owned them, but most of their budget
the government owns all the news.
Yeah. Right. Like we got all these media outlets and they're owned by 6 people, 6 companies. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. You guys have all seen those conglomerations, right? Where the local news is all saying the same thing, no matter what state and what county and things like that. Hundreds of thousands of talking heads saying the exact same thing. You guys have seen those, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. And we think that we're getting the unfiltered news. Come on, man. They're telling you what to believe.
Yep.
What if Elon Musk buys CNN? That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And MSNBC.
Elon can do what he wants at this point, and he's going to have hundreds of millions of people giving him the thumbs high. I mean, that's what I mean. He's another one. It's a cult of personality. It's another one we have to worry about. Like, I use his internet to preach Jesus. I don't care what his personal opinions are. It all works, but I think that Pasta is right. Just because you hear somebody on TV say something, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to believe it full force and just lean into it. You need to do your own research. The number one warning in the Bible, the number one warning from Jesus is take heed that no man deceive you. Check it out for yourself. Study to show thyself approved. Look into it. Figure out the truth.
Yeah. Well, Kais, what if you became president and Teddy could be your vice president?
He would fire me the first day. Gigi.
Trans what? You're all fired.
Mr. President, you want me to wash what? I am not going into your bathroom and getting that turd off that. No.
Look what Jen said. He said that Matt Powell, the Nazi.
Yeah, I don't like Matt Powell.
Why are you saying that?
Okay, but I mean, like, don't like him. That's fine. But what in the world have you seen from Matt Powell that I haven't that would suggest Nazi?
Yeah, that's a Jen thing. I won't answer for Jens or anything, but I just being personally,
And full disclosure, I love Matt Powell. Great brother of mine. I've known him for a few years. I absolutely love Matt Powell, but I've not seen anything that suggests Nazi. I mean, maybe he doesn't agree with you politically. It doesn't necessarily make him a Nazi now. Come on.
Right.
Hi, Mike.
But Jen's my buddy, so. But just because we're buddies, we don't have to agree, and we know that.
Sunday, that's the day you and Birder Pie could have your great talk.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell him about the birds and the bees?
No, I was hoping he's going to figure that one out before then, but I might have to tell him about the. Matter of fact, I just seen in Miami yesterday, 2 Mopar cars. It's the Super Bee and what's the bird one? Hold on. Screw it. I ruined it. I'm not even going to try to find it. But this is how you tell people about the birds and the bees, and it's 2 cars, which I agree. I love old cars. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he thinks certain people should be exterminated.
Oh.
No, that sounds like. Are you sure you're not confusing him with Steven Anderson? I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it, read it, hear it,
or unless it's one of his general. I mean, which is standard, for theists. No offense, that according to the Bible, homosexuals, is what, an abomination. They should be stoned, or
100%. And that's what I'm saying, Pasta. I would agree. Well, that's old school. We don't have the authority to stone them right now because our government is not the government that was back then. Right.
Oh, no, I understand that. That's
so
the way I was taking what we were saying.
Yeah.
Though.
So if we today rounded all of them up with all of our sins and all of our faults and stuff like that, we would no way be qualified to stone them to death. It doesn't work out that way. But if he's just saying generally, I don't think that these people should be running things, and that's one thing. But if he's absolutely standing on his platform like Steven Anderson saying, just kill yourself, you might find me disagreeing with Matt Powell. But I've never known him to say that. Show me.
Yeah, see, for me, and sorry, I know he's a friend of yours, but I'm a straight shooter. But, for me, it's an ignorance sort of thing. Obviously from the science, I'm not going to agree with them on that. But as far as being a Nazi, I don't know. Unless, something showed up and it's like, wow, okay, I get that. Which is the same thing you're saying anyway, Joe, that if there was something there, you would definitely, have something to say about it or some...
Exactly. Like, I can disagree with you till the cows come home, and I can think whatever I want to think, but I will not raise a finger to hurt you because it's not my place.
Right.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. It's not mine, right? It's the Lord's. So
see, in my house, it was if Mama's not happy, nobody's happy. But maybe it was the same thing because she must have been the Lord because we were scared of her at times.
There are different rules, right?
They are.
Like, God's law is not necessarily Mama's law, but you're going to follow Mama's law when you enter that door. I promise.
Yeah. What's sad? My mom is 4'8.5" or 4'8", and a half, and I'm so scared of her that if she found out I didn't throw in that ½ inch, that she would, pretty much destroy me. Because she's always joked around that she gave me life and she can take it. And I've always said, I believe you, ma'am.
That's right. There's she's never given me any reason to doubt her.
No.
Right. So that's what I mean. I can understand that. So if Brother Powell just believes things that you don't believe, and even if he, like, what's a good example here? Where am I going with this? Right. Like, I believe that all pedophiles should be killed. I just do. Right. I just do. But our government thinks that they should be in prison or they should get treatment or something like that. Okay, that's fine. My beliefs are not going to trump the government. I'm not going to run out and just start murdering every pedophile I see and call myself doing the Lord's work. It doesn't work that way. Do you know what I mean? So that doesn't mean I support pedophilia or anything like that. It just means I know my place.
Right.
And I am not.
Really, you going to prison for killing even one. Was it really worth it? And to me, your integrity. If you're saying you're a Christian, I feel the Bible says this, this, and this, and you turn around and do just the opposite on purpose,
right?
Then it's, to me that's more of a. Well, I said,
I don't think it's more egregious, but I think I get what you're saying though. Like,
I'm not saying it's more egregious, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to get right back.
I'm doing a similar thing though.
Right.
I'm doing what I want instead of what I ought to be doing.
Right.
And that yes, sir. I understand you. I understand you.
Uh-oh.
I've been stoned a lot of times too, Speedy.
Yeah. And Speedy is trans. No, he's not. Okay, I'm not going to start that. Sorry, Speedy. I couldn't resist.
Speaking of that, doesn't he thinks that Sandman is a cross-dressing Satanist? That was just so crazy. What do you think of that, Joey?
I don't have any thoughts on that. I mean, I don't. If you're a cross-dressing Satanist, asking a Christian what he thinks about that, I'm clearly not going to agree. But I would agree that you are a cross-dressing Satanist. I mean, I don't know what you want from me.
Who's a cross-dressing
the only
Satanist?
people claiming to be a cross-dressing Satanist. You're not going to hear that from me, right?
Dustin. He
Yeah,
said
I've never
that.
been that stoned to say that I was a cross-dressing Satanist.
Yeah. There you go. I guess my first remark would be to quit or share. Quit
Yeah.
or share.
Yeah. Yeah, don't go over to Joe's. He's got stuck on the the puff puff. Hey Joe, pass. No, puff puff.
Nope, I got this one.
He's only doing this for our health, guys. He really doesn't want to do this, but look at that dude. He is stoned out of his gourd.
Everybody must get stoned. Who was that? Was that Dylan?
Yep. Everybody must get stoned. Back in the day.
Stony?
Where's Mod at? I figured she'd be invading.
Well, I don't know. But can I ask you something? What would you do if Kent made you head of the Dinosaur Adventureland, Joe?
I would not accept. I would not accept. That's not my position. I don't believe God called me to that. I don't believe, God has called me to certain things, whether I liked it or not. That's what he does. He puts you in positions you are wholly unqualified for. And that's why I humbly say that I have no knowledge of tech. I just barely survived. And that's why I chuckle, but I do appreciate when you guys say I was a decent tech guy. I do appreciate that. I would never call myself that, but that's what the Lord does. He will put you in an area that you're wholly unqualified for because he knows your heart and he knows what you'll do with it. But I would never accept a position of leadership or control like that because I just know myself, and I know that I would get hung up. As somewhere along the line, I would lose my way. Somewhere along the line, I would lose my way, and I would start doing what I wanted, or I would lean on my own understanding. And I don't like that. I'd much more prefer it when I know without a shadow of a doubt that I need to rely on him. And when you're in those positions, it undoubtedly happens where people are coming to you, asking you for what you want to do at this time, right now. And I think that's when people get in trouble. I think that's when our politicians get in trouble. I think that's when our leaders get in trouble because they're working deals. They're doing what they think is right. And they've lost, they've taken their eyes off the prize.
Right. And I think even to a point, a big point, they overcompromise and lose their original position that they started from to begin with.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we were talking about earlier, their whole platform is a 180 from what it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And I understand that. And that's why I wouldn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. And see, if I was a theist myself, to be honest, I wouldn't want the position. I love power. Don't get me wrong. Cause I've always, I'm talking work related, was either like team leaders, supervisors, department heads, whatever I was. That kind of responsibility I love. But like say from a spiritual sense and, hypothetical, like I said, I'm a theist. I wouldn't want to be responsible for possibly causing even one person to stumble by my actions because I'm hot-headed. There's a lot of things that I would have to get straight, even if I wanted to be, saying a biblical qualified, leader. There's no way I couldn't do it.
No, it's tough. It's got to be tough, man.
Yep. Yeah, I can go tell somebody to sweep all day long, but yeah.
No, I'm with you. That's different.
I've been in my heart, Pasta Ron. Well, go take a cold shower, pray on it. You know what? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
But yeah, but it'd be things like that. Even joking around, somebody may take something I say as a joking around and take it serious and then really do it. So it's like, no, I wouldn't want that responsible. Everybody here knows how irresponsible I can be.
Right. If everybody's being honest, they know how irresponsible they can be.
Yeah.
I mean, we do things just because we want to. Doesn't make any bit of sense. We just want to do it. So we do it. Yeah. And so that's easy to do when it's just you, or it's just you and your pup, or it's just you and your pup and your girl. But it's way different when it's you, your pup, and your girl, and 356 million people. It's a whole different world.
Yeah. And that I agree with.
Joseph Tech guy. Are you going? Do you have a son? Will you name Joey Jr.?
I would not, man. I got the most basic name in the world, man. You know, I was almost a Jeremiah. My father wanted Jeremiah, but my mother won because my last name is so long and my middle name is pretty long. So she won on that. But I'm not saying I would prefer Jeremiah over Joseph, but I'm just saying I would not name my child Joseph. It's so basic. So it's so common, right? The average Joe. I mean, shit, we got a bumper sticker for it. It's the average Joe. You know, it's so basic.
I think we know who's going to take over for Kent. It's got to be Speedy because he said I would want to ride the dinos, and then above that he said it would remind me of the old days.
I took my driver's license on a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to gangbang with the Hebrews.
Joey, would you name your kid Josh? For you could be Joshin?
I'll tell you what, man, me and my wife have talked about this, and we don't really have a great one for the boys. I mean, I'm just sorry to say it. We don't have a great one for the boys. But I think we're going to follow suit. If we have a female, I think we're going to follow suit with her and kind of have a trans, quote unquote, trans name. Like my wife's name is Bobby, Bobbie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so like if we have a young girl, I think it would probably be like Charlie or Ricky or, you know, something like that that kind of swings. We haven't really talked about it with the boys. I mean, I'm not so caught up in myself. I need a junior. Like I said, there's a million Joes in this world. One more ain't going to mean anything.
Yeah, I swear that.
Are you going to have like?
Sorry.
Okay. You're going to have 55 kids.
I'm not, man. I'll be doing lucky to get 2. You know, it's just, you know, the way my life is working out. That's all it is.
Yeah, when my son was prior to being born, he was going to be, well, actually, I'm a junior, but I didn't want to name my son after my sperm donor because I have no respect for him and didn't talk to him. So I was going to go to the second, and then he was going to be junior. So the kid popped out, and the nurse was like, well, what's the name? And Kim, my wife at the time, looked at me like, okay, go ahead and tell him. Because she didn't, not that she was against it, but she liked some other names better, but we never talked about them. Because the deal was I got the boy name, she's going to name the girl sort of thing. So soon they're over there, you know, cleaning the baby up. And the nurse, like I said, asked, you know, what the baby's name is for the birth certificate. We're looking at each other and she's like, go ahead, tell him what you want it to be. And I just looked at it and really, that's what it was, little raisin, and said Brandon. And my ex-wife's like, huh? You know, they got a big smile on her, you know, face. But remember, we didn't get, you know, this far because it was going to be junior. So the nurse is like, well, do you want to have a middle name? And we're like, because we, you know, like I said, we didn't think about this. Well, then I turned around and named him after my stepdad, who I considered to be my dad, but spelt it different. His middle name was Allen, and it was Alan, and my son's is Allen, but still named after, you know, my stepdad, who I considered to be my dad at that time anyway. So yeah, you never know what you're going to name them until you see them. Because I was bent on having a junior, but he just didn't look like one.
I'm not laughing at that. I think it's awesome the way you're just so at ease with that. Well, we wanted to do this, but it didn't work that way. That's what I'm chuckling about. I dig that so much. Some people get so caught up and like, no, like, who was it? George Foreman named his first. Named his first five kids. Yeah, first 5 kids. George Foreman the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Come on now. Like, how in love with yourself are you?
Yeah, he's got like what, 5 or 6 Georges?
Yeah,
I think at least or whatever. But what's funny is because we were wanting a name that was unique and nobody else had. And at that point, there was not a whole lot of brands. This was in '85.
Right.
Well, so then they're like, well, if you want, you know, you can go up into the nursery or tell your family or, you know, do whatever. We got to, you know, clean up your wife. And because she had a C-section that they tried to induce and it wouldn't. So I get all excited, have all the scrubs on and stuff and running through the hospital. Got to the elevator. The doors just happened to open up. Some people got off. I jumped off. or jumped on, went down to the main floor where they were supposed to wait until we knew something so we could bring them upstairs. Got to the first floor, jumped off the elevator, realized I just passed my whole family on the elevator. Jumped back on the elevator, went up there, and they're all sitting there just laughing. And right there is where the nursery is. So anyway, we're over here. I said, oh, they're cleaning up the baby. They wanted to know the name. My mom's all excited. Oh, Brandon, that's so cute. So we're looking at all the other babies. There were at least seven other Brandons there, even a black Brandon. And it's like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
There was no Brandon Allens, but there were like a few Brandon Michaels. And, it's like, oh, well, that just ruined everything. I wanted to go back in there. I said, I lied. He's a junior.
But honestly, though, man, when you're at that nursery and you're thinking about these things and you're on the elevator, like, what a wild ride, right?
Yeah.
Like you are thinking about the handle of somebody who is going to be alive and carrying your genes and carrying on your namesake and things like that. And it's just a surreal world, isn't it, brother?
Yeah. Oh, then you get the payback where all the times your parents worried about when you're out driving or doing this or doing that, because they worry whether you're a good kid or not.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I get that one totally. But yeah, the biggest surprise for me out of that whole deal, because which is it's not there anymore. Brandon was born in a private hospital. It was a Humana, women's hospital, and I know there's a point to my story. I just lost train of thought. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Oh no, it was the fact that here you are in this great hospital where the husband or the father could stay there overnight. They had these little, they're not very comfortable, but chairs that turned into beds. They had a fully stocked like snack and drink area. It just you didn't have to leave. Well, but you don't think about all this because you're thinking, oh, this is gonna be a good life. I'm gonna be a good father, gonna do this, and then all of a sudden they say, well, you'll be checking out tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's like, no, I don't want to go. I want the built-in babysitters.
Yeah.
And all this.
Like, whoa. You mean I got to take this home?
Yeah. Because I mean, in the hospital, you don't even have to have that baby in there hardly ever or have it in there the whole time. And we were kind of like, he was in there a whole lot, especially that first. And then one of the nurses said, if I were you, enjoy trying to catch up on some sleep and allow the nurses that, to keep them at night a little bit more, just suggesting, which is a great idea. But then you get home and all of a sudden it's like, nurse, oh wait, no, I got to change this diaper now. What do you mean I got to feed this kid?
Yeah.
Then I got to get up in the middle of the night to check on them.
All of a sudden you're Joe Dirt and you're like, yo, I'm new. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. But then after once you calm down and, as time goes by slowly, it's like, most people really do have it. They just don't know it until they have to do it.
But
I mean, it's
see,
not
brother,
easy, but it's not hard.
Isn't that just like us in life, right? And everything we were talking about today with the politics and the voting and everything, you don't know until you know. And when you get in there and you're being honest with yourself, it's like, yo, I can't roll with this guy just because he's blue or just because he's red. I'm not going to go completely up and down ticket because of red. I gotta answer for this. And I have a responsibility, and it completely changes everything. And I think that the people who grab their picket signs and they hit the streets and they want to hate people for wearing a hat and they want to hate people for dyeing their hair a certain way.
Right.
I think it's just a humongous disservice to themselves and to their fellow Americans or people, their fellow humans. I mean, I think it's completely wrong. Flowey the Flower. I think you're right. That would be more in line with anything that I could agree with on Matt Powell. That he might believe that, but he doesn't believe it's our job to enforce it, right? Which is exactly what I said. It doesn't matter what I believe. I am not going to run around with my AK and start blasting people for what I think. It doesn't matter.
I've heard many theists say, according to the Bible, we should be out there doing this, but none of them are saying, well, we should be out there doing this, because, so there's a little bit of a difference there,
Huge
with
difference.
Some people.
Yeah. Because our government doesn't believe like we do. They're doing it for, like we talked about earlier, they're doing it for the votes.
Yep.
It's all about the gram.
And I still can't understand how Trump won and how he won so big. I still.
Oh,
That
come on.
blows
He
me
could because he
away.
had Kamala. That was the deal. He was
That's
going.
that's true. That's what I said earlier. That Clown Mala was there, and yeah,
That's 100% it, brother. Like if it wasn't for her, it might have been a whole different story. Might have been a whole different. But then again, we don't know, right? I mean, like this could have been the plan from 20 years ago. They might have already laid all this out because every politician changes. Like you look at everything Trump is saying, and I could show you video clips of Hillary Clinton and Obama saying the exact same thing.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, and it's just wild how they're allowed to say that and it's okay. But as soon as Trump says it, oh my God, that's a bridge too far. What is going on here? It's 100% crazy. And it's because people have nothing to do. They have nothing in their life that is more serious than what's on the news right now. And that's a shame. That's an absolute shame. And like, I know what you're saying. It wasn't the news with me and my brother, Pasta Teddy, or me and my mother. It was Joel Osteen and Rod Parsley and Kenneth Copeland and things like that, you know, like all these quote unquote Christians that she's following. And I'm like, yeah, Ma, that's not really the way, you know. Well, don't tell me because they're saying this and I feel this and I believe this. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But, you know, do you remember when he was on Larry King Live and they asked him straight up, is Jesus the only way to heaven? Right? Like whether you believe that or not, that's what scripture says.
Right.
So you can't sit here and call yourself a Christian and say that there is a different way because scripture says very clearly Jesus is the only way. So when Joel Osteen's on Larry King Live and Larry King says, is Jesus the only way? And he's like, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know what God would do. Yeah, that's blasphemy. That's a lie because scripture is very clear about this. You are worried about what your coffers and your donors are going to say. You're not worried about what scripture says. And that's the problem when people act like they're leaning on convictions, but they're really not. They're leaning on what perception is. That's the problem. But I think it's because people don't have enough balls. Excuse me. They don't have the balls that me and you have to come out here and be honest and say, you know what? I just don't freaking know. I'm telling you what I believe and I'm telling you where I'm coming from, like it or not. Right? You've done that. I've done that. And I think it's been very fruitful. A lot of people won't do that. They got to win an argument or win a debate. And I think that is the downfall of this country.
Well, definitely. God, you said something that it hit, and I can't remember what the heck it was now. Dang it! Yeah, don't ever get old. Don't no chemo pills for anybody. I'm the
oh my goodness, man. Sorry about that, man. Sorry
no, that's not. Do not pity me. I have it easy for real.
Yeah, but chemo sucks, dude. I've seen the pills.
It does, but for me, seeing what I've seen so far since 05, and I mean, just really quick, and I guess this is where I come from, you know, because I can't feel sorry for myself, because when I first found out, I had a football-sized tumor. They finally got it out, which was a thing in itself. Did radiation afterwards. Was in the first day for my first radiation thing, and really your first day, which I didn't know at the time so much, was they put this. It's almost like a body bag, but it's got like that styrofoam in it. You got to lay in it, then they pump it up, and then you have to wait till it dries, which it doesn't take very long. It's like styrofoam. So when you go in every day to get your radiation, you're in the same position. Actually got like these 3 little tattoo dots on my left abdomen where I can't see them, but they had like glasses or something that highlighted these things somehow, and they could, you know, line up the radiation machine with the dots, because I mean, you don't want to get burnt any more than you know that you possibly have to. It can get pretty bad. But anyway, there's a guy in there that was in a wheelchair, and you know, some lady was there, and I'm sitting there, and this lady pushes this guy over, and he goes, "Looks like this is your first day." And I'm like, "Yeah, is it? You know, does it show that much?" And yeah, you know. So he's telling me, you know about him and what to expect that day. But you know, I found out at that time that he just had part of his lung removed, was getting ready to go back in to get more lung removed, was doing chemo and radiation at the same time. Wasn't very mobile. You know, he didn't have the strength, but this guy had a smile on his face every day, and it was pretty much like he was the welcome wagon. Because generally, when you do radiation, even when I was doing the chemo, you pretty much do them the same day or the same time of day, just for habit. It's a lot easier mentally, and there's a science behind it. But anyway,
no, there is. I used to run a cab, brother. I don't mean to cut you off, but I used to
yeah,
run
go
a
ahead.
cab. I used to run a cab for people who were on dialysis, and it was clockwork. It was textbook.
Yep.
It was guaranteed every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I was running this person, and this person over to the DaVita clinic, and for dialysis. Yes, sir. I understand
Yep.
exactly what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. So so it was nice for this guy to take time out of his life, which is already sucks worse than mine. I mean, maybe not in his eyes, but I mean, health wise. So, pretty much there've been days that, found out that the lady that was with him was his daughter, was pushing him around, to all the areas, but everybody knew this guy. So I got to the point with them that sometimes I would tell her, if you want, go ahead, go get yourself something to eat, go for a walk, get a breath, smoke a cigarette, whatever, sort of thing. I can't remember if she smoked or not. I just throw that out there in case, whatever she may have wanted done. I said, I'll take care of him, make sure he's okay. So I was pushing him around. It was like we were both, the welcome wagon until we, got called in, to do that. But so for me to feel sorry for my little deal after, somebody like that, showed me the kindness, basically the starter kit of radiation, and calming my nerves. I can't, feel sorry for myself because I had it really easy compared to.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
and that's not me being a
Teddy.
badass or trying to act like a big guy. And it's just the fact.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So I just want to say right now, Pasta Teddy, I don't know where we agree on anything else, but I appreciate you being that serious and that honest. And we could disagree on a million things, but I think we have a better understanding of where each other's coming from just for having conversations like this. And I think a lot of people are scared to have conversations like this because they think that if I befriend you, then I'm losing. Then I've given up some ground that I need to win. And I think, again, that is a bigger problem. That is a big.
I've heard that. So what I've heard before was, I forgot, it doesn't matter who it was that said it now, probably being a smart ass or hateful at the time. But, I'm up here talking just like I am with you normally. And somebody, and it wasn't one of our regulars, I don't think. But like I said, it doesn't even matter. It's just the fact that it was said. But they sat there and said, oh, look at this. The atheist is up there trying to act like a Christian. I've never tried to act like a Christian. I've never tried to act like, anything.
Exactly. Exactly. And to call out my own Christian brethren, I would say that you can 100% be good without God. That's one of the problems they have. I mean, like, I agree with them that, you have to borrow from God to be good and all these other nuances and blah, 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 but you can be good without God. And I think that a lot of people have like all these people that were hating on Matt Powell. Well, he thinks this. Yeah, but he's not suggesting that we run around with our AKs and blast everybody who don't agree with us. That's absolutely insane. Listen to the man and listen what he's saying. Right. I can do that with you. And it doesn't matter what we disagree on. I understand that you are a human trying to live your life like I'm trying to live mine. I don't get from you that you feel like you got it all figured out and trying to tell me what to do.
Right.
I hope that I'm not giving that experience to you, that I got it all figured out and you need to listen to me.
No, not at all. See, because this is kind of weird. Once again, being honest, I didn't like you at first. Literally.
Fair enough. I don't like me very much, to be honest.
And it was that, and then when you had that little deal with Deviant, that really kind of got me too. So, I had, already preconceived notions. And then even today, when I knew that you were on, I wasn't going to go hang out on Mod's stream for a little bit until I had to do what I had to do and help my sister-in-law. And then I seen that you're up there. It's like, screw this. I don't want to listen to this crap. I really didn't. But see, I was the same way with Sandman. I didn't like Sandman. And then just the other day, me and him were talking, had a decent conversation, everything, great. There's things that he said, that I don't agree with, or, but I don't know him. But just interacting with him, it was like, okay, he's a human being, not a theist, not an atheist, not anything but a human. We're chatting. But then there was a blow up, which, you know, really a lot of that was my fault. And even Frank was, you know, there. We had a conversation, and I don't know. I guess it was Sandman that I apologized to yesterday for that whole deal. But it's like sometimes I still get into that us versus them mentality, and I hate it. You know, for me, this is harder to break than finally, you know, being able to say I'm an atheist, you know, and lose that fear of hell, literally.
Right.
You know,
But the thing is, like, are we intelligent enough? Are we emotionally mature enough to accept an idea or to entertain an idea without accepting it as being true? And that's what I try to do with you, Pasta Teddy. Like, we clearly we come from different sides, right?
Right.
But can I accept what you're saying and understand it without believing it to be true? Yes, I can. I can fully understand where you're coming from, and it doesn't bother me. I don't take it personal when I look at it like that. And the same way with Deviant, I'm glad you brought that up. I was totally out of line the first time me and Deviant got had an interaction, right? And I apologize for that. She accepted my apology, which blew my mind. I don't know if y'all saw that stream. It absolutely blew my mind.
Oh, yeah, because I was there because you were. Was that the one? And I'm not to draw it out again, but you had like 1 or 2 drinks, maybe. Because
yes,
and
yes,
I kept
sir.
saying, Joe, shut. You know, blah 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 blah. You're not going to treat her that way.
Yeah,
and I'm more afraid of Deviant than you should be of me, literally. So I don't know why I even, you know, stuck up for Deviant, because she can handle herself. I know that.
Yeah, but so when I came in, I was in the chat, and I think Gangster Ghost asked me if I want to come on, and I was like, I don't want to, because I don't want to come in and be all hostile towards someone who's there for something that happened when you were having like a great conversation. I don't want to like come in, I don't know the expression in English, but
step on anybody's
balls
toes,
blazing and then throwing hand grenades. But I wrote about it a bit in the chat, and Joseph addressed it, and I felt immediately like he is honest. He's being completely honest. He didn't have to address it. He could have just ignored it. He could have just said, it's your fault, or I don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. People do that sometimes for various reasons. But he just gave me the most honest apology, and of course I couldn't let that go. It warmed my heart so much. I had to come in and tell him. But I think I scared him a bit when I came in.
You scare everybody. You got the Cat Nation behind you. No, but while we're talking about this, I do have to say something really quick about the other day. That's what I was when I first came on. But for anybody that was here the other day when me and Timmy got into it, I want to apologize for my language. A lot of what I said, I shouldn't have said it. And I'm going to leave that part at that. Now, what I really want to address a little bit, I'm not even going to get into it, is that he did ask me the question whether I supported trans rights or not. To me, and I think me and even Joe kind of got into that a little bit when to me, that's not a yes or no question. And I wasn't allowed to actually answer that the way I wanted to. And I actually, probably did earlier, so I won't get back into that. If anybody wants to know how I really feel or part of it, I'm, confused as hell about some of it and agree with some of it and disagree with some of it. There's my stance. That's why I said the other day, it wasn't yes or no question for me. To me, it was a false dichotomy.
Yeah.
But my actions, definitely, I apologize. I, apologize for the F word. When I get pissed off, then I'm not even using this excuse. I'm taking responsibility, but there's a lot that's been going to, in the background that I should have allowed to, get involved. And I even said I shouldn't be on here when I, first got on stage, but it turned into such a great, conversation. And that's when I was interacting with Sandman for the first time. Before then I didn't like him, True.
Yeah. No, I mean, from that day, from believing one thing about Joseph to, because when I was still in chat, I heard him talking and he sounded like a reasonable, kind, good person who could have a conversation. And I was just, I was kind of puzzled by it. And then I thought, well, because I was in this, I had this very negative experience in the beginning when we first met. So my brain started to go like, oh, okay, it's because I'm a woman and I'm an atheist. And can you hear the vibrations when I speak? Is the sound weird?
You sound fine to me right now.
Okay, good. But I really couldn't just let it go. You know, the dissonance where you hear someone talk and you get an image of that, how that person is and how they view other people. And I guess that's why I start to bring it up more in the chat. And then you answered to it. And from that day on, I think you're just, every conversation I've had with you, every conversation I've heard with you, you have just been an awesome person who has empathy and who cares about people and who are thoughtful. And yes, we disagree on a number of topics, but I disagree with most people. And as long as I'm not out to like destroy you or your right to live or whatever, and you're not out to destroy my life, I mean.
Right. I agree with you 100%, Deviant. That's what I'm saying. Like it because of my position and where I was and what I was doing, it was easy for me to look at everything that come at me like a threat and just swing my
Yeah.
sword and try to defend. But
Yeah.
that's where I have to take ownership, and I have to understand that people are allowed to not see things the way I see them, and they're allowed to express themselves and not be combative to me. That makes perfect sense. So what am I doing? Right? Am I really doing the right thing? And that's what made me understand, wait a minute, just because she's saying something that I don't agree with doesn't mean she's my enemy. It just
Right,
means,
exactly.
yeah. And so I don't believe that about you anymore. And so again, I am wholly sorry for the things that I said because of my ignorance. And again, this is a great conversation with Pasta, and I hope to continue it with you. And that's what I mean. Like, we are people, and we are living our lives, and we are trying our best. I would hope that everyone is trying their best to get through this life with as minimal damage to others as possible. And if you're on that, then we can agree to disagree, and we can understand that there are multiple different ways to look at any given situation. And
Absolutely.
I'm not claiming that I know the answer. Well, I mean, I am claiming I know the answer, but I'm not claiming that you have to agree with me. Otherwise, you're just otherwise I got to swing my sword at your head as hard as I can. Right.
Right.
I want to see that because she's got the Swedish Air Force backing her, buddy.
Oh, no way. I love the Swedes.
Teddy?
Good.
Teddy?
we're
Yes, sir.
gonna get along perfectly.
Right, if I let this guy on?
No.
Oh, okay.
There is not this soon, because it's going to turn right into the same thing, because he's already got me kind of wound up, and I'm not going to allow it. I mean, if you want him on, and this isn't an either or thing, Gigi. I'm just saying, if you really want him on, fine. I don't have a problem going back into the side chat, but I'm not going to have another episode the other day where we're in the middle of a great conversation, and even though I said a lot of it was my fault, you're not going to come.
Can you agree to talk about something else?
Not with him here, no, because he's so focused right now on, oh my gosh, no apology for me, da 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 da. But in my mindset right now, it's like, well, why? Where's my apology from him? Which kind of makes me think that he doesn't think he owes me, which is fine. I don't care. I really don't ever want to talk to about him or with him again. Honestly, whether I said sorry or not, if that's the case, Tim, I'm sorry. You're the greatest guy in the world. You won everything. Fine. I still don't want to talk to you. Simple. There you go. But sometimes, like you're talking about, like with, huh?
He wants to apologize.
Well, I just don't want it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. It's up to you. I just don't want you guys to fight.
No, that's what I said. That's why I don't want him on here. I said I will leave here in a little bit, but that, I don't want, like I told you the other day, I don't want it to be that if I come in, everybody wants to kick Timmy off, so I can go on and no, he was here first. That's fine. But I said if I'm here, I just don't want to be on stage with him right now because the last few times we've had encounters, it's turned bitter. I do not want that for my own well-being. If anything else, nothing personal, Timmy. I hope you can at least respect that part of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I mean, I'm in a good space with it. I hope Tim is in a good place with it. Tempers happen, but his personality and my personality clash, and maybe, and this is part of why I was pushing for the Sunday translation discussion with Pike, because maybe if he looks at it at some point, maybe he'll understand my point better, where I'm coming from, and not take it so personal. I mean, I understand it's personal for people, their Bibles and yada yada yada, but I'm not.
I mean, maybe it's just that now is not the time.
Right. I mean, it's too soon. I mean, it's still fresh. I mean,
yeah, but you need a bit more time and distance is what I hear from you.
Right. Thank
it's
you.
not that like.
It's not. I hate Timmy. It's not. I don't. Anything to do with Timmy. It's just that I don't want to get back the way I was just 2 or 3 days ago.
No,
because of other things going on in my life and other people's lives, and we're having a great conversation, and I just know that it would just distract from it like it did the other day, which it kind of is, which I'm not blaming Timmy for that. No problem. But for me, it's too soon.
Yeah.
I mean, just like when I got into it with Joe a year ago, it took me a few months to be able to talk to him afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I did something.
I mean,
very stupid towards someone in this community. I mean, it was like in the beginning of last year. And he did not want to talk to me at that point, and not for many, many, many months. But eventually he did, and now we're fine, and I'm very happy about that. It wouldn't have been okay if I had been like, yes, I have to say this to you now, because I wanted to apologize, but he wasn't ready for that at that moment.
And sometimes it makes it worse. And I just know me. Yeah. It's like I said, this has nothing to do with Tim. Because like I said, the first thing I do, I read the thing that he said, and I take it personal. Whether he meant it that way or not, automatically, that's just my mindset right now, with that.
Sure.
I mean, because he said, once again, I'm not trying to, push back or throw him under the bus, but the first thing when I see is, so no apology for me for the ridiculous amount of ad hominems. My first response would have been, if I was in a space that was good, was, well, I didn't realize you were here, Tim, which I really didn't. I didn't know whether he's here or not. I don't care who's here or not. We're having a discussion. If he's here, great. If he's not, great. But you can ask Gigi. Well, no, don't ask Gigi. Well, no, because I don't want to get him in the middle of this. But I've been asked that. Flat out said that if you want on stage, you don't want to be on with somebody that will put you on first. And to me, that's not fair. I flat out said that. That's not fair to the other person. I'm not everything. I'm not all knowing. Yes, I could be funny and charming, but I'm an asshole, and I know that. Timmy has his quirks. Timmy has his good points, I'm sure. But right now, we just can't see eye to eye, or at least I can't. But so, I mean, it's like, at least I feel I'm being fair.
I think you're being honest. I don't.
Look at that, definitely. Yeah, I can't be any other way.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't
other
know.
than when I'm pissed off,
I couldn't guarantee you're being fair. I couldn't guarantee you're being fair, but I can guarantee you're being honest, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know what the backstory is either, though. Like there are things that me and Tim 100% agree on, but I can understand how he would take a different approach than I would, and so that's maybe why you don't want him here as opposed to me or something like that. But I do understand you, and I'm not.
No, it's just the trigger. I'm not. It triggered me the other day. I'm sure it would trigger me again, whether he meant to do it or not, and whether I meant to do it, back sort of thing. Because sometimes I'm a reactionary. I really am.
So Tim wanted me to ask if you can, if it's okay to apologize and reconcile in the future.
It's possible. I mean, I could be dead tonight, and I'm not trying to be morbid. Timmy, I have nothing against you, Timmy. I'm not even mad at you. I'm not upset. I'm trying to prevent it to go to the next stage where every time we see each other, it's going to be a battle, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, he says, okay, that's fair. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought it was cleared up, kind of like what Joe said, but I understand needing clarification, sort of thing. But yeah, kind of get back to what you were saying earlier. Sometimes, and that might be what it is with, with Timmy and me, that I don't or may not know how to handle him, and he doesn't know how to handle, or not even handle, how to take something I say. Because I do joke a lot about stuff, and I can see through my whole life where some people have taken it serious. I mean, just like, but at least Father Charles knows that I know everything, so I'm a know-it-all. He had a typo. He said nothing, but it's all he meant all.
I stole that Tom Cruise line from that movie, right? I tell everybody between me and my brother, we know everything. And when they ask me something I don't know, I tell them that's one my brother knows.
Yeah. Almost sounds like the Boondock Saints. I love that movie. Oh, wait. Do you need an exorcism said by Sad Man to DG? Oh, well. Oh, wait. No, the one thing I do want to get to, I don't know if Clay's still here is joking around or what, but I seen this. And since we were talking about other things, and I don't want to, push, the Timmy thing off. But Clay said something about, I don't know, Gigi, did you hear about Dan and Terry? I think they're going to give it a shot because the chemistry between them is undeniable. But I don't know if he's still here or not. I want to know if this is like an inside joke or. Oh, well, that's the gossip part, I guess. I'll wait till the Days of Your Lives comes on.
Okay, people need to stop calling Daniel Dan, because there is only one Dan, and then that's Dan Potts. And then there is Daniel, who's Orthodox.
Yeah, who has a burning bush and won't use the cream to get rid of it.
I know, but he tries natural remedies, A man should be gentle with his gentle parts. Which, of course, if it's burning, that's not very gentle.
That's not very gentle. There's something going on. If it burns, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
And if it burns when you're peeing, you did it with the wrong person.
Do you guys remember that Frank Zappa had a song called "Why Does It Burn When I Pee"? Do you
Yep.
guys remember that?
Did he?
Yeah, Zap is out there.
Yeah,
man.
he's had a lot of let's say interesting songs through his career. Then they wonder why Moon Zappa is about the same way.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just look at his children, Ahmet and Dweezil.
Yeah,
What-
yeah. But they're all talented. That's just what I don't amazes
But I mean,
me.
but Pasta, we were talking about children's names earlier. Would you ever consider Dweezil?
What exactly what is a dweezil? I guess
It sounds like a douchey weasel, or a
Yeah, 'cause,
D.
to me, that's
Another
like-
word on D. Weasel.
See, to me, it's like the Native Americans, how they name their children. You know, they go outside. Oh, two clouds passing. We'll name the child two clouds passing. So then, no, forget it.
So
I really
a
Hey, no, I'm gonna stop right now.
yeah, I just yeah. No, it's like I'm trying
Yeah.
to be nice, but yeah.
and I yeah.
Moon.
I'm the
unit,
one
Zappa.
who
Okay.
always gets the comment that I take things too far. Like I'm with friends and we're all laughing and I say something and suddenly it's all quiet and everyone is looking weird at me. And they go like, always. Too far. Too far. So I'm glad I can always speak Swedish. You don't understand the horrid things I say. What Zappas had a daughter named Moon Unit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wasn't she the one that was in? Gosh. God, well, I can't believe I can't. Well, I'll think of her in a second.
When you start naming your kids like Moon Unit, somewhere you have to think to yourself, maybe drugs isn't good for me. Maybe I should take
Like,
it easy.
right? Like nobody. I don't think anybody ever thinks drugs are good for them.
No,
It makes them feel
there
good,
are
maybe,
there,
but I don't think they.
there are like levels of bad, and I imagine that you kind of it's not good, but having used them sometime it's kind of normalized, and other people around you also are users, but when you stand there and just named your kid Moon Unit, that should give you pause, take a step back, and like, maybe this isn't normal. Maybe it's actually not good.
Yeah, where I'm from, that they're so weird about stuff that one of the couples that my mom and dad, hung around with, or I mean, I was dad passed, but mom still talks to the couple, but they named their daughters or not Sunshine. It was either Sunshine or Sunflower. I can't remember which one, and it was like the big stink gossip for like months and months and months afterwards. All over a girl's or a baby's name. I don't even think that one's that bad. I mean, it's Flower Child or not. Yeah, it's like a Flower Child hippie name. Big deal. That's what the parents are. They're sure not going to, name their daughter Donna.
Right, but I mean, life is hard enough, right? Life
Exactly.
is hard enough, and like, why would you make it unnecessarily hard on your child by calling them Ahmet or Dweezil or
Dweezil,
Moon
especially,
Unit?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these names, they speak more to the ego of the parent than they do to the disposition of the child. Like, I don't know, like when I was growing up and we had animals, we had pets, right? We would just let them be pets for like 2-3 weeks, a month even, until we figured out what kind of personality that animal had, and then we would name them. Right? We don't do that with children. We got the name already before the lady is even pregnant, and it just seems odd to me. And I think that's kind of where you were going with earlier, Pasta, about the Native American names. I mean, they kind of wait to see what the baby itself implies is the name.
Right. And plus with their culture and their spirituality, it's all connected to, Mother Earth.
Right. Well,
but they don't say Mother Earth, but basically it's the same concept as some of the pagans, that are the Mother Earth types.
Yeah. I can get that. Right. Like, what do you guys think about the Hopi Indians, though, that actually had the prophecy of the white man coming and saving them, and then they have this fulfillment in some about the same time as Jesus coming and telling them about the heavenly land and things like that? I mean, is this still just a Middle East religion concept, or does it spread the globe at the
And to
same
help your
time?
case, you can go even a step further and say, look, the Mormons said Jesus come to the Americas to witness to the Native Americans. See?
Oh, bruh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna help my case by preaching on Mormonism. I don't know. That's a hard
that's what
sell,
I'm saying.
bruh.
My point being is there's lots of versions of this. I mean, not lots, some. I mean, just like so the supposed, every culture's had a global flood story, or whatever.
In the Mormon story, though, they built a wooden submarine. It wasn't called a submarine because they weren't around, but it was a wooden boat that traveled underwater to the Americas.
Right. Yeah, but you don't have to read too much of the Mormon story to realize that there's no way that it could have actually, happened when they get into, especially the animals that weren't even native to the Americas and didn't come until like the conquistadors, into Central America, that we got the horses even. But in the Book of Mormons, they're so dumb, instead of thinking about this stuff, or probably not knowing this, they looked around and said, okay, let's mention horses and cows and yada yada yada. And it's just kind of like, wait a second, that's not native. We didn't get horses until whenever it was, or whatever other animals, similar to the camels, in the Middle East. I mean, parts of, what was it, Syria may have had the camels, but everywhere else, camels were relatively weren't even a thing. I can't say 100% on that. That's not my real.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the history lesson.
There is no history here.
No,
that's what I was. That was I was afraid of.
There's no history to that. I think Speedy nailed it. Joseph Smith.
Yep.
And that's what I mean. Like, we can all look at that and chuckle and understand. And that's what I mean when I said earlier, we have more alike than we do in differences. And that's why it's unfortunate that my brother, Tim, is so hardcore, ready to just beat you guys over the head with something that you don't agree with. I find that very unfortunate. I think that we could, like, what's that saying, right? Like, a bee doesn't waste his time explaining to a fly that honey tastes better than shit. And it's and it's really that simple. There's no reason for me to come out here and be an a-hole to you guys, because we're human and we have more agreements than we do disagreements. And let's focus on that. And let's try to really understand where we're coming from and get some fruitful discussions and conversations. And it doesn't matter that at the end of the day, I agree 99% with Brother Tim. I am KJV. I am a Bible thumper. I am this. I have no problem admitting that. But that doesn't mean that I have to act or do a certain thing in a certain way at a certain time. That's just ridiculous to me, And I think Sister Deviant called that out to me very plainly a couple weeks ago. Pasta Teddy understands what he saw in that time, and he talked about it earlier today, and that's what I mean. We so many more fruitful conversations could be had as opposed to me just bashing people over the head. And
right, I mean, most people are going to shut down anyway, and stop listening, when they get attacked. It'd be no different than me coming here and say, Joe, you're a drunken BS and your God is this and that. Automatically you're shutting down. You're defense mode. There's no discord. That's right. Kind of what I'm saying with Tim the other day. Not to talk about it, but and that's kind of why I don't want to talk about it, or at least directly with him right now, because I know why it happened, and at least in my mind, and I even said most of it was my fault, and I do realize that, but
at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're skin and bones. Most of us are more or less bipedal, have some sort of brain, nervous system, a couple or more eyes, maybe no eyes. Okay, the details aren't important. We're basically humans. And we have to live together because there is only one Earth. And there's never come anything good out of being hostile and divisive right off the bat. It's always more productive for everyone to realize our commonalities and focus on them, because at that point we can talk about the differences and still have our ears open. No one is going to even consider what the other person is saying if we look at each other as enemies or lesser than or a threat or whatever. And truth be told, there are a bunch of horrible people out in the world that does horrible things, but the amount of people who are not horrible, the amount of people who are actually just good, upstanding people who love their parents and friends and families and their dogs and cats and whatever, are way more than the people who lock their children in a cellar. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of body cam footage the last couple of days. I've also been quite depressed and have had a lot of anxiety, and I think those two go hand in hand. I'm my own mental health worst enemy, I think.
I think we both are. Yeah.
But it does eventually, it does make me think that no, this isn't the way the majority is, and it's not the way I am, and it's not the way I want to be. Whatever happens in life, my only goal is to live a way so that hopefully the world is better, a little bit better when I leave it than when I came into it. And that doesn't mean that I have to solve all of existence issues all around the world. It can be just the small things that makes life easier for someone else, so that they have the energy to do something good for themselves or for someone else, or for themselves so that they can do something good for someone else.
That's my version of Gigi. That's for my little Gigi. I searched high and low the other day because I wasn't in a very good mood, and I got my nightly. That's what I love about Gigi. I get a nightly Have a safe night, wonderful night, sort of thing. Friend from him. Puts a smile on my face. So it's like, man, I gotta go find something that looks close to his avatar without being his avatar. So I was on the internet for like 2 or 3 hours, not exclusively to find this, but I found this in there, and it's just like,
Aww.
I forgot what it said. I think something about like normal people scare me, but it's just the picture part that I really like.
Yeah, and with the circle, you can't even see the text really. You can only see
Can I
Jack
change that? Or is that
Skeleton.
his settings? I don't even know.
But I have to ask Joseph, what's your avatar? Is it a man with glasses and a blue beard and blue hair, or is
No,
it
it's
a
just,
football logo?
it's just a umpire's mask, catcher's mask.
Catcher's
Calling,
okay, now I see it. All right.
yeah, calling balls and strikes. That's all.
Because I
I
first thought it was a
see.
reef myself the other day, or the first time I seen whenever it was, and then I just forgot about it until she said it.
You thought it was what?
Like a wreath you put, like a Christmas wreath you put on your door or something.
Oh, okay.
Or some
No.
flowery anyway.
No, I
Decorative that way.
was on here one time, and I have 2 or 3 that I usually use, right, with my name Joseph, no big deal. But me and Zealotsden were talking one time, and I told him, I was like, no matter what the topic or what the situation is, I have to answer to God for every idle word. So I try to keep that in the back of my mind, and I try to understand that it's not my job to dictate truth. It's only my job to call balls and strikes as I see them.
Right.
And so he called me the umpire, and I didn't really care for the umpire, but I loved his Boston accent, so I went with Joey Balls and Strikes. Right? It's all credit to Zealots. It's all credit to Zealots on this. But I use my I'll change my avatar right now. But the Joey Balls and Strikes comes completely from the Zealots Den, but usually this is the avatar that I
that's
use.
what I know. I see.
Yeah,
yeah.
And that's my real face. Like, I don't know who that was from the 1700s, but he looked a lot like me. So what I did was I took that picture and my picture, and I did a face swap, and then I downloaded it, and then I uploaded that as my primary picture and did another face swap. And I did another one, and I did another one, and I kept doing that like 4 times. And this guy looks so much like me; he's probably my relative if I was to study it back far enough. So so that's what I tell the trolls and the haters. Like, my name is Joseph Shackelford. That is my real picture. I mean, that ain't my real haircut, but that's my real face right there. And so come at me. I have nothing to hide. I'm an idiot.
Right.
I've been in trouble. I've been in jail. I got charges. Go ahead with it. I have nothing to hide. But
I don't either.
But all you people that hide behind an avatar and a fake name, you want to come at me and tell me what's real? I'm laughing. I'm laughing.
I boxed myself so many times.
Come at me.
Funny. Yeah, I got mad one time because I was accused of lying about having cancer and all this. So I ended up doing a quick stream on it, and I doxed myself. I mean, my address, my name, because I had to show I had just got my my shipment. I've got one sitting here, that I just got. But when I get my shipment of chemo pills, I got to sign for it. But they like boxed this stuff up like hazardous material. And then I got to realizing it is hazardous material. So I was showing everybody, I took it's like a bubble wrap thing. So you take it out of the bubble wrap, and then there's another like biohazard bag that says something about do not handle, do not ingest, do not, whatever. Meanwhile, this is getting ready to go in my body at some point. And it's like, oh my gosh. So I'm showing everybody, okay, look up this, so the Seraphabin or Nexavar, that right there, right next to my name. Yes, that's my address and all this. And everybody's like, what happens if somebody comes to my house? I said, this is Indiana. We're loaded for bear. I ain't worried about nothing.
That's right, buddy. What part of Indy?
Indiana. I'm just west of Indianapolis near Crawfordsville. I don't know if you're
Oh, okay. Yeah, right on. I was born and raised in Johnson County, right there outside of Franklin, just outside of Indy. Yeah. Yes, a little south.
That's my second wife was from the Franklin area. So yeah, lovely area.
Okay.
What, you didn't hear the sarcasm?
No, it wasn't great for
You
me.
should have got the sarcasm at ex-wife.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope it was great for yours. Yeah, but it wasn't great for me. I'm so glad that my mother got me out of that area because I mean, and it wasn't the area. I'll go ahead and say this. It wasn't the area. It was my people. It was me and my family and the way we were raised and what we do. And that was just it. Dustin, are you working, Dustin?
No, not today. Actually, come to think of it, like they probably fired me today.
What?
Yeah,
What?
buddy, but that's
Why?
okay. It's all good because okay, so I came in this morning and they had a complaint on the table about me supposedly saying some stuff and driving erratically. Well, I'm contesting the complaint, and then I informed them that I have the right to, and that if they continue without letting me, that they're opening themselves up to another lawsuit. So they fired me. That's okay, though. There's this thing called the EEOC. They're about to understand exactly what an investigation looks like.
Yeah, that exists. That's a real
That's
thing.
a real thing. Yeah, they can't do that. Like and this looks like retaliation because I have these papers here that say what does it say on here? Settlement agreement stipulation sick leave. They're in fucking deep shit, dude. They don't even know it. They don't even fucking know it how fucked they are and how hard I'm going to fuck them.
I'm glad I've never cussed in GG show. No kidding.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm sitting here thinking, oh God, I can't even say anything. I'm a hypocrite.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I've cussed, but I don't. I think Dustin's got me beat.
I've got everybody.
I'm not bragging.
Beat in the cussing department. I'm sorry. I know.
It's all right, brother.
I know
We still
you
love
curse.
Dustin.
I can't use them. I love you guys too. Anyway, I just wanted to vent real quick.
I'm sorry though.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that too, Dustin. Praying for you,
they're
brother. God's
messing.
got another. He's got.
They are messing with the wrong guy. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know. I'm not taking this laying down.
Dustin, there's
I don't think anybody that knows you would expect you to take that. but I'm just saying, I'm praying for you, brother. I hope that you understand what God's working out for you, and I hope it all does work
there's
out
always
for
a
you.
silver lining. I think God wants you to hang out with Lupin more often.
Oh, I'm sure that God wants me to have all the spare time to work on Lupin that I could possibly spare. I am positive of that.
And as people said, amen.
The
right.
The LD podcast, the Lupin and Dustin.
Oh,
podcast.
dear Lord. No, it should be the DL, Dear Lord podcast. What? Dear Lord, not these guys again.
Would that show be called Tourette's and Nuts? I don't know.
Possibly.
I'm not saying which one's which, but
Tourette's nuts? That sounds like a new trail mix.
There's got somebody in the backstage.
Oh, there's somebody back there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know who it is now. Okay, God, it's like I've seen that name. I swear I have, but then it's like maybe I haven't.
Shit. So I'm just trying to catch up with you in the swearing department, Dustin. Shit.
I'll come back in 35 minutes and then
you might be closer. You might. I don't know. I can swear a lot in a few seconds.
It's not about the cursing itself, it's about where it's put. That's where I fall on that spectrum. If you're just cussing for the sake of cussing, then I agree with the kind of cultural stereotype of somebody that excessively cusses not having a good vocabulary. Like if you're just using it all over the place for no good reason, yeah, you do have a poor vocabulary and you should probably open a fucking dictionary. But as far as using it appropriately, you can use it in a way that it provides an emphasis on something so that you make a much better fucking point than you would have otherwise.
For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake.
Exactly. Exact, not
Yes, sir.
exactly, because no one says exactly. That's not. No one ever uses that phrase. It's like, but then again, this is the same language that puts a on the end of freaking cocoa. So hey, whatever.
A cocoa?
Cocoa. Cocoa.
Cocoa,
Cocoa.
technically.
Okay.
Cocoa bean.
Okay.
Have you ever had some hot cocoa?
I want some hot
No,
cocoa.
I've had varm choklad.
Oh, dear
Goodness
Lord in heaven,
gracious.
I hate having to do this stuff, man. But it seems like
What?
I get good results when I do.
Do what?
Just like you, did your wife take a look at those documents at all?
She hasn't been able to yet. You sent me them yesterday, and I maybe
I know.
saw Brianna for a grand total of like 15 minutes outside of work yesterday before we went to bed. So we just haven't had time. We've been extremely busy this week, but that's winding down here pretty soon. I'm going to be going to the service for Major David Peabody tomorrow here. And then after that, I have a pretty open weekend, so I should have time to be able to show her that later after tomorrow.
Who is Major Peabody?
He was the director of the military museums. He was the person
Right,
he
sorry.
tragically died on the 26th.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I can use all the advice I can get, Aiden.
I didn't know his name, or I didn't remember. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I asked
all right.
so flippantly.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You didn't know who he was. It's not disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. Now, coming on and making a joke about how, he must have done it because he was sick of listening to Aiden every single week like Lupin. Now, that's disrespectful. But then again, you actually have a soul, and you're not a living waste of skin that walks the earth for the sole purpose of being the bane of people's existence. So, you can clarify that as well.
I mean,
I think that's...
normally I would see that
They're
as a
multiplying,
huge
by the way.
compliment, but being that the person who you're comparing to is Lupin, I'm not sure it really is.
I mean, is he a person? Like, is he really a
No.
person? I mean, like, I don't know. It kind of skirts the edge.
No, he absolutely is. He just pisses you off, but he absolutely
but
is a real
is he a person though, Joseph? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've met him. I've met him. He actually is.
I don't know.
He just ruffles your feathers, and that's okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, he ruffles more than my feathers. You should have heard what he said about Mark. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I have no room to speak in that department right there.
So, like, everybody on here is just supposed to automatically defend Stoney? Like, I don't.
No, I
understand
never
the
said
point.
anything about how you have to defend him. I'm just saying that he said about Mark Stoney regarding the drowning of that child that he had blood on his hands for it, which is totally beyond the pale as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that may be true. That may be 100% true. I'm not trying to argue that, but I will say that Kent Hovind wasn't even on site. Mark Stoney was right there shooting pool with the dad. So
He
if
he rushed over there just as quickly as the dad did.
I'm just
No. Hold on. Are you really gonna go down that path, Joseph? Like, for real?
No, I'm just trying to talk, okay? And Mark Stoney was right there shooting pool with the father, and Kent Hovind wasn't even on site. So if you're the one of those guys that's going to blame Kent and not,
I didn't even mention Kent. I didn't breathe a word of Kent Hovind's name, and you're running to his defense. You're running to the defense of him, and you're throwing Mark under the bus for no good reason to defend somebody who I wouldn't have even invoked Kent Hovind in this conversation. No, Dustin, I wouldn't have even mentioned Kent that entire time.
I understand. You have a good point. You have a good point when it comes to mentioning Kent, but you go too far when you say that my man Joseph over here is defending him. He's not defending him.
He is. By needlessly invoking him into the conversation, he absolutely is playing defense for somebody who didn't need defending. I wasn't invoking him.
You didn't even let me finish my sentence. How can you establish my position when I wasn't even allowed to talk?
You've established very thoroughly at this point that you were saying that because you thought that I was bringing Kent into the conversation, and I just clarified that I did not bring
I
Kent into
didn't.
the conversation.
I said, if you'll let me talk, I'll tell you very clearly. Mark Stoney was on site shooting pool with the kid's father. Kent wasn't even on site. You have no problem blaming Kent, but you're defending Mark Stoney.
I didn't. You know why I blame Kent? No,
whether you want to admit it or
Joseph.
not. There's
The only culpability that I provide on Kent Hovind is the fact that in that instance, Kent Hovind had authority over that property and had the authority to station a lifeguard to be able to watch over those children and make sure that nothing happened as far as wrong. No, listen. No, you just got on my case for interrupting, Joseph. You just got on my case for interrupting. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite.
Okay.
All right.
Where did you learn that? Did you talk to your wife about that? Did you talk to your wife about liability law, and that's how you know this?
I'm talking about the fact, Dustin, that when you're correct for invoking liability into the matter because Kent Hovind, as the person in charge of Dinosaur Adventureland, had the liability of taking care of those children while he was there.
I can't deny that. That is completely legally and completely fucking like every kind of way solid there is, man. I'm sorry.
That is insofar as how I blame Kent. I don't blame Kent for that child dying. I blame Kent for not having safety measures in place that could have prevented that child from dying.
Your point is made. All right, it fucking flies. Okay, I have to grant it fucking safe passage.
Even though there's 25 life jackets out there that everybody is encouraged to use.
Is 25 life jackets a lifeguard, Joseph? We should just put 25 life jackets in every single public pool. There's no lifeguard required then, right?
Issue.
What about all these beaches I go to that say no lifeguard on duty?
Well, then it's the liability of the person that owns that beach if somebody drowns on that beach.
Oh my God! There you go. It's on the
Here's the question, Joseph.
I said it's the liability of the person that owns the beach, Joseph. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
Was there
were you
a lease
listening
of
to the words that came out of my
liability and
mouth?
hold harmless? Was
The
there
person
a
who
lease
owns
of
that piece of
liability
property.
and hold harmless? Was there a lease of liability and hold harmless? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Well, that's what would have been required in order to avoid that liability. Unfortunately, Aiden is 110% correct in lieu of a lease of liability and hold harmless.
No, I don't understand this at all. Hold on. Let me just say something, okay? Let me just ask you
Go
a
ahead.
question, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Is that okay with you?
Yep,
You have my
Go ahead,
full
Joseph.
endorsement and permission, Joseph. Go
Let
ahead.
me just ask you this. Let me just ask you this. How in the world can you say that Mark Stoney's shooting pool with the kid's father 10 feet away from where the kid is drowning is Kent Hovind's fault, who wasn't even on the property? That's my question to you. Why isn't it Mark's problem? Why isn't it the father's problem? Why isn't it the mother's problem? Why isn't it anybody else's problem? Why does it automatically fall to Kent, who wasn't even on
May I
site?
answer?
Liability, property liability.
May I answer,
No, I'm
Joseph?
not talking about
No.
legalities. Yeah,
I want to answer Joseph's question. May I answer, Joseph? Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So, was my criticism of Kent that Kent was directly responsible for that child's death? Yes or no?
I don't understand the question.
Was my criticism that Kent Hovind was directly responsible for that child's death? Yes or no, Joseph?
Is that your criticism?
I'm asking you because you're the one that seems to be out here presuming that it was. So you tell me.
Well, I mean, you came into the conversation saying that it's
No,
Kent's fault,
actually,
right?
I didn't even invoke Kent Hovind's name once in this conversation. That was you, sir. That was you that invoked Kent Hovind, not me. I was talking about Lupin and what Lupin said in regards to what happened at Dinosaur Adventureland.
So let's stop playing games.
No. Don't try and break my line of questioning here just because it's inconvenient to you right now, Joseph. No, you listen right now, Joseph. You open your ears and shut your mouth and listen to what I have to say to you. Because what I have to say to you is that I never once said that Kent Hovind was directly responsible for that child's death. What I said, the sum total of my criticism as outlined earlier in this exact conversation, was that Kent Hovind by being the person in charge of Dinosaur Adventureland was the person who was invested with the authority to be able to station someone such that they are constantly watching over these children in the capacity of a lifeguard. He
In
did
lieu
not
of
do
a
that. He
release of
failed to
liability
do
and hold
so.
harmless.
Yeah.
And
In lieu-
therefore,
I didn't say it was his fault. I'm just saying that if anybody had fault, it was him. Are
you're
you
you're
serious?
entirely, I mean, like, if you really want to be that myopic about my position, Joseph, then go ahead and be my guest. But everybody else here sees that what your position is here is absurd.
Answer directly. Whose fault was it?
Whose fault directly was it? No one's. It was no one's direct fault.
There you go. Then shut up.
It was
Then
no one's
shut up.
direct
in order
fault.
for that,
What are you
well, wait,
I'm not
Joseph,
saying it was
Joseph,
anyone's direct fault.
Joseph,
Joseph, you're not listening.
Joseph, if you're trying
not
to
listening.
assume and associate fault, you have to know who knew what and when. That's the only differentiating circumstances and mitigating factors that would be liable for review in this situation. Okay? The idea is who knew what and when.
I'm just trying to make the point. I'm trying to make the point. I don't understand. If you're not laying fault at anybody's feet, why are you calling out Kent when he wasn't even?
I mean, first and foremost, no, wait,
please,
Deviant,
please,
go ahead.
please.
Deviant,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So what happened was we were talking about Lupin and the things that Lupin has said towards different people in this community, the way that he's behaved, things he's done and said towards people in this community. One of the things that he said was saying that Mark had blood on his hands. No one was mentioning Kent. It's generally when we have talked about this, to my knowledge, I would say everyone is of the opinion that it was an accident that cannot be blamed on anyone.
Then why are we talking about it?
Because
Joseph, you idiot! You're the one that brought it into the conversation. How many times does this have to be explained to you?
You brought up Kent.
I did not bring
Yes,
this
you
up.
did. Yes, you did. You go back and you listen to this conversation, you troglodyte, and you'll find that what was mentioned, the first person that mentioned Kent was you. You're the one that mentioned Kent. You go back. You go back, Joseph. Everyone can go back and watch the tape. Everyone can go back and watch it, and it will vindicate that you are a liar. You are a liar.
And you will find that I did not bring this up.
Joseph, you're a liar.
No one mentioned Kent until you did.
I'm not talking about Kent. I'm talking about.
I'm talking about Kent. We're talking about Kent. If you're talking about the child, then you're shifting the goalpost, Joseph, because everyone else here is talking about Kent being brought up, and you're the one that brought him up into the conversation. Nobody was going to mention Kent. Kent wouldn't have been a part of the conversation. You're the one that dragged him into this, and now you're sitting here after doing that and complaining about the fact that Kent is being brought up. Like, give me a break, Joseph.
You brought up a child drowning and saying that it wasn't on Mark and it wasn't on the father.
No, I never said anything about the father. You're putting words in my mouth. You're putting words in my mouth, Joseph.
About the father.
Who brought up the child drowning? Who brought up?
I brought up the child drowning, but I brought it up in relation to Lupin. I never said that it was me. I never said it was you that brought up the child drowning. Can you please listen for once in your life, Joseph? It was me that made the contention that you were the one that brought up Kent Hovind. You were the one that brought up Kent Hovind. That was my contention, Joseph. Literally just earlier, my contention was that you're the one that brought up Kent.
Okay, Aiden, so we both agree that Kent had nothing to do with that child drowning?
No.
We both agree to that?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you're crying about nothing.
No, I don't agree with you. I literally just told you that I don't agree with you on that. I literally just said that, so I didn't answer the question the way you wanted me to, but you're just assuming. You're not even listening to what I'm saying at this point. You're literally not even listening. You're just on autopilot. Why don't you have another fucking drink, Joseph?
Dude, okay,
Hey,
Aiden, please don't.
Run your mouth a little bit more. That makes you right.
Please keep your gloves above the belt, bro. Okay, we don't have any evidence that he's drinking today.
Well, you know what? If he's gonna be like this, if he's gonna come at me like this, then I'm not just gonna be cool about it, Dustin.
No,
I
it's
was
okay.
literally.
I understand that.
Who cares? Who cares what you're cool with, dude? You come in here
Well,
talking about
okay.
Mark is off the hook, even though
Mark is off
and
the
his
hook.
father
No,
were-
I didn't say that. You're putting words
he
in my
never-
mouth first
yeah,
and
he never
foremost,
did
and
say that.
secondly,
Then what are you
and
saying?
secondly.
Then what are you saying?
Oh my God, you're not.
Then what are
And
you
what I if
saying?
I said it to you, you just wouldn't listen like the other 5 times I said it to you, idiot. So what does it make a difference?
Tell me one more time.
Are you gonna listen this time?
Yep.
All right. The reason why this was brought up was entirely apropos. It was totally apropos of Kent. None whatsoever. It had nothing to do with Kent at all. No, listen. No, listen. You said you were going to listen this time, Joseph. You told me you were
I
going to
am. I'm
listen.
just laughing also.
Okay, well then stop yapping off at the mouth and just listen.
I don't think I will.
Well, then shove it then. Retard, get out of here. I don't care.
If you won't allow
Try
him,
harder.
if you
Cry
won't
harder.
allow
You're
him-
the one that's
I
been
mean,
crying about a man who wasn't even brought up in the conversation, you white
God,
knight. You're the one
you
gallivanting in
guys
here trying to
have to
defend
fight.
somebody who had nothing to
Mommy
do with
and Daddy,
anything.
stop it now! Stop it now!
You're so pathetic.
Stop it
I don't know
now!
who the
Damn
mommy
it!
is, Dustin.
I don't know, but just knock it the fuck off! Holy shit!
Azo, what do you think about all of this, Azo?
I just got done feeding my dogs and came back in here to see what's going on so I can fix me something to eat. So I missed the whole.
All right, I'm going to attempt to re-explain without Joseph running off at the mouth. We'll see if he's capable of that. So,
yeah,
anyway, well, thank you for demonstrating that you're not. Anyways, what I was saying was that I brought up Lupin's claim about Mark having blood on his hands because it was an inappropriate statement that was not true, because nobody has blood on their hands from that. There's a difference
Mark doesn't
between
have-
somebody
Mark-
committing an act. Wait, Dustin. There's a difference
I'm
between
listening.
someone committing an act that results in someone's death, which would be having blood on your hands, and being responsible for somebody that died. There's a difference between those two things. One is you directly taking that into your hands and doing something yourself, and the other one is having culpability in the event wherein it happened. These are two different things. Thereby, when I say that nobody has blood on their hands, that is not a contradiction with me saying that Kent Hovind bears responsibility. And the reasoning for that, as stated earlier, was Kent Hovind is the person who had charge over that area and had charge such that he could have stationed a lifeguard there, but chose
Right,
that
so-
that was
so you
not
are
what he
blaming
ought
Kent.
do. Joseph, thank you for demonstrating
You
that
are
you
blaming
can't live.
Kent.
Thank you for demonstrating that you don't have self-control. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for demonstrating that you are a lying piece of shit. You are blaming Kent.
Lying piece of shit. Oh yeah, yeah, and I'm crying, right, Joseph? I'm crying, right, Joseph? You lying piece of
Is
shit.
it or is it not Kent's fault? Is it or is it not Kent's
Kent
fault?
bears responsibility.
There you go. So call me a liar all you want, but I just nailed you to
Does
the
Kent
wall.
have blood on
You
his
are-
hands if he bears responsibility, though, Joseph? Given the
That's not-
dichotomy
no,
I just
those two
established?
things are not.
I'm
those
asking
two
you
things
a
are
very
not
simple
equal.
question. I'm asking you a very simple question. If Kent wasn't even on site, but Mark Stoney and his father were shooting pool 20 feet away, are you seriously saying that Kent has more culpability? Is that your
Is
answer?
Mark Stoney in charge of Dinosaur Adventureland? Yes or no?
Was
No,
Mark
no, no, no,
Stoney
no, no, no.
shooting
Is Mark
pool
Stoney in
with
charge of Dinosaur
20 feet away?
Adventureland?
Again, the
Is he in charge?
proximity.
Yeah,
Did he
here
have
we
the
go. I
authority
think
to
we all
station a
know.
lifeguard there, Joseph?
The
No, no, no. Did
proximity
he
of
have the authority
individual.
to station a lifeguard there?
We all know
What
this
matters
We all
is
know what this
Yeah,
is. Come
Joseph
on
doesn't
now.
want to answer the question because he knows that Mark
Try
didn't have that
harder, Hayden.
authority. He knows for
Try
a fact.
harder,
Yeah,
Hayden.
I'm the one that's crying, even though you called me a little
Try
bitch.
harder,
You called me a
Hayden.
little bitch just a few minutes ago, but I'm
Well,
the
I'm
one
gonna
that's
be a bigger
crying,
bitch
buddy.
here for a
Okay.
second
Yes, you
because I
are.
quit
I'm
being-
Dude,
come
you're
on,
the
guys.
one, dude.
Come
You're the one that's
on.
been
Come
all fired up ever
on.
since the
This
beginning.
isn't
Come
gonna
on now.
go anywhere. All right. You both have your position. The thing is you neither one of you.
Uh-oh. Ding. I can't believe anybody's fighting over
Don't
Lupin.
even let each
to be
other
honest.
freaking state it situation. So his argument, his fucking argument
And I
is
mean, like,
Looney
none of this-
fucking way because nobody else charges.
None of that is even to bring up the fact that when they were at the hospital, Kent busied himself with, rather than spending time with the parents of the child, just passing out a bunch of DAL flyers and making sure everybody knew about Dinosaur Adventureland. No.
He didn't do what I think he
Yeah,
should do. Therefore,
yeah.
he's
No,
guilty.
it's
He
the
didn't
best.
do
The
what I
best time
wanted
for
him to do.
publicity is the death of a
You are
child,
such
right,
a
Joseph?
dude.
That's the best time for publicity. That's the best time to go pass out a bunch of flyers for your park. Hey, come see the park that a child drowned at.
You're right. I should have been
Come
winning
see
the
the
game of
park
pool.
that I was
You're
so
right.
neglectful
You should have been
over.
winning-
Come see a
you
park
should have
that
been
I was
winning a
so
game of pool.
neglectful over that I couldn't even station a lifeguard near a lake that a children swam at. Come see that. What a great angle. No, you're right. You've really invested your life in a good man, haven't you, Joseph?
Are
You've
you
really
sure?
spent your
Aiden,
life
how many hours
yoked
do you
to such
spend
a
arguing
great
with your
person.
wife, Aiden? I need to know. How many hours do
I
you
don't argue
spend
with my
arguing
wife at
with her?
all. I don't
Then
argue
I
with
don't
her at all.
understand. Where is all this legal acumen coming from? Have you been going to the library on me? What's the fucking deal?
Dude, I study. Whatever. It's not a big deal.
You know, Jesus
It's really
Christ.
not. I mean, whatever, dude. It's not a big deal. The main point is that Joseph is over here belly aching over something that didn't have anything
Not
to
at
do with
all.
the original conversation at all. I don't even know why you're trying to bring up that Kent is responsible. I never brought that up.
I nailed it. You admitted it, dude. You
Admitted what?
it. You were
The thing that was my
sneakily-
position since the beginning?
Let me finish my sentence and I'll tell
Okay.
you. You are sneakily trying to blame all this on Kent when you admitted that he wasn't even there. But the father
When did
and
I
Mark
say that
Stoney,
he
who
was
were 20
there?
feet away.
When did I say he was there? No. When did I say he was there? You admitted that he was there. When did I say that he was there? If I'm admitting that he wasn't there, then that implies that at some point in the past I was stating otherwise, which is incredibly dishonest. But go ahead and call me dishonest
So you
for
admit he had
maintaining the
nothing to do
same
with it.
position
So you
that I've
admit-
had since the
so
beginning.
you
No. No,
Okay,
this is the
no.
stupid
You are
dichotomy that you're
lying.
trying to
You are
establish. This is
stupid,
the
dude.
stupid dichotomy that you're trying to establish. He wasn't there. He wasn't there physically, therefore he has no bearing on any of it whatsoever at all. That's retarded, Joseph. He
Meanwhile,
ran the
two people that were
organization.
20 feet
Oh,
away-
no, you're right. No, you're right.
Run,
the next time I go to a carnival, the next time I go to a carnival and I go on one of those rides that's all rusty and I get like my leg crushed by some like faulty part in a carnival, well, the owner of that carnival wasn't responsible because they weren't there at the time. They were somewhere else. They were over at the bar getting shit-faced like you on a Tuesday. So, hey, that's not a big deal for the carnival owner, right, Joseph?
And a Wednesday, and a Thursday, and a Friday. Just make up whatever you want. Go
right,
ahead.
Joseph? No. They don't have any responsibility because they weren't there, right, dipshit?
Yeah, dipshit. Call me all kinds of names. It doesn't make you right. Do you feel yourself?
No, I mean, like, your logic it's so sound. It's so sound. It's almost as sound as Kent and Sandra's marriage.
Yeah, okay. What are you talking about? I mean, who's the
You know exactly what I'm talking about, buddy. I don't need to give you a guide.
right now?
I don't need to give you a guide.
You are such a
I don't need to
crybaby
give you a guide.
nowadays.
Bro, the only one crying is you, bro. You were crying since the beginning of when I showed up. You've cried since I showed up here.
Well,
What's
maybe
the
this
problem?
would be a good time for Timmy to come up.
Aiden, what's the problem? I mean, this
More
is
like
the real
Aiden
point.
wanted to explain. Hold on, I'm reading the chat. I'm reading the chat.
Yeah, all you
Deviant
wanted
says,
to do.
more like Aiden wanted to explain why we were all hesitant to bestow full humanity onto Lupin, given examples of messed up things Lupin said and done toward people in this community. Yeah, that's where this started. But it got taken somewhere else because Joseph the White Knight needed to ride in and defend his god Emperor Ken.
No. See, don't mark me like that. I am asking you a very simple question. If Mark Stoney and the child's father, who were 20 feet away,
Oh, Dr. Dino,
Yes,
you're so right about everything.
And I think that says everything. When you can't even let me finish my
You're so right, Ken.
sentence.
Everything you've ever said is so true, Ken. It's just all you're doing this entire time, bro.
Yeah, sure.
Keep on licking the boot, dude. See where it gets you.
Yeah, keep on being scared of anybody that has anything to say otherwise.
Oh,
See what
dude, I'm
happens.
so scared. I'm
Then
so
why you
scared. I'm
keep running
shaking
your
in my
mouth?
goddamn boots.
Then why you keep running your stupid fucking mouth?
Dude, you're the one that decided to take up for somebody who wasn't even being fucking talked about. So how about
trying
you
to ask
fucking
you a
calm
very-
down and get off
I'm
my
trying to
jock,
ask you a-
bitch?
I'm trying to ask you a very simple question, stupid. If he wasn't even on site, but people were 20 feet away, how does he get more blame than they do? It's a very simple question, but you're a bitch and you're running from it.
Every time I explain it, you don't even listen. What was my explanation, Joseph? I've already explained it to you 5 times already. Go ahead.
He's an idiot and he's had a bunch of wives and
Yeah. That was my explanation. Shows how much you fucking listen, Joseph. Shows how much you listen. Shows how capable you are of following a conversation.
Why would I listen to a beta?
So you admit you weren't listening. Thank you. I appreciate it. You've established that you weren't listening. Therefore, your opinion regarding anything I've said here is basically irrelevant because you weren't even listening.
So you think wit is a good exchange for logic? See, again, you think wit is a good exchange for logic?
I never said I wasn't the one going. I'm gonna stumble all over my words because I'm too drunk to know what I'm saying. No, it's not me, bro. Sorry. No, I just got back from my job. My job wasn't licking the boots of some evangelist who couldn't give less of a shit about me. So I guess I'm a little higher on the employment totem pole than you are, aren't you?
I mean, again, you're still good at running your mouth, but you have no point.
I have no point. I'm literally refuting the point, quote unquote, of a person who started an argument over somebody who wasn't even brought up until you invoked him. You're the one that brought Kent into this. I wasn't going to say anything about Kent, Joseph.
But you agree that Kent has more culpability than the two people that were there. Right?
And the two people that were there, yeah, they're the two people that were there, people that were. Hold on. Were the two people that were there people that had the authority to put a lifeguard on site?
You agree that
Was Mark Stoney capable of stationing a lifeguard on site there, Joseph? Did he have the authority to be like, I'm going to hire a lifeguard and they're going to be here and they're going to watch over these kids? No, did he have that authority?
Did Kent when he wasn't even on site?
Yeah, of course he did. Did Kent, the leader of the ministry, who has total control over the employment of people, whose policy regularly is if you don't agree with what I think, then you can leave. Yes, Joseph, I have the outlandish, crazy, wackadoodle opinion that he did indeed have the authority to put a lifeguard on site. I know, it's just crazy, isn't it?
Okay, so it's crazy that he didn't have a lifeguard on site. Is that what you're saying? That's your whole argument.
I mean, what would have that been? $200 in exchange for a child's life?
Can I have the floor for a second?
In exchange for the life of a child?
Can I please have the floor for a second? A little bit of arbitration is called for here. Hello?
Please take it.
Yeah, we're quiet.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, all right, look, the idea that you can have a bunch of random people on a property that belongs to you exposing themselves to the elements in any way, shape, or form and not have that be your liability is laughable. There is a bunch of case law and there is a bunch of, I mean, just out and out history that dictates that anytime you're injured on somebody else's property that they bear liability. It's just a fact.
Cry harder, Dustin. Cry harder.
Okay, I'm not crying. Okay, but on the other token, the idea that that has relevance to anything we're talking about in this particular conversation is a moot one because charges were never filed. So there's undisclosed facts in this situation that have mitigated charges for XYZ reason. My suspicion is that there was a waiver at submission to the park. So I don't know which way this one rolls. I didn't see the filings. I have no absolute facts. But the reality is the argument here is moot. Yes, Kent holds some liability to the fact that he did not have a lifeguard on post. But it's irrelevant because nobody filed charges. Your points are both moot. I award no points. We are all dumber for having listened to this. May God have mercy on your soul.
No, I agree. This was a stupid bunch of booty chatter nonsense that really didn't need to happen at all. But Joseph just felt so gung-ho about running to defend God Emperor Kent that he didn't even stop to listen to what the conversation was actually about.
No, that's not even true. That's not even true because I do not like the way that Doc handled things afterwards. So you're completely wrong on that fact. Okay.
You didn't even listen to what I just said. Good God, Joseph.
Yeah, it says the person that won't even let me finish a sentence before he runs his
Bro,
stupid
why would I
fucking
let
mouth.
you finish a sentence when you don't even fucking listen?
Okay.
I mean, I love both you guys. I don't know which way to go here. You both have valid points, but you also both have moot points.
No, the point is, at the end of the day, no matter what this guy says, he is ultimately trying to string it back to where it's Doc's fault. He wasn't even on site. Mark and the father were shooting pool less than 20 feet away from
See,
where
you're
it
saying
happened.
that Mark wasn't for fault. You're saying Mark was at fault. You're saying Mark was at fault.
Every time I say this, here he comes running his mouth. Every time. But blame me. It's okay. It's okay. I'm done. Blame me. We all know.
I'm
We all know now.
inclined.
We all know.
I'm inclined to believe that Kent Hovind either had an attorney that was wise enough to be able to file enough countersuits to make it not worthwhile, or there are some mitigating circumstances to the knowledge of the father and the individual who was playing pool with him that may not have let charges be filed, because Kent was clearly liable. There's no reason those parents should have come after him, unless there's more to the story that's not being told.
I mean, those parents clearly still liked DAL even after the fact, so it's not surprising to me that they didn't file charges.
But what does that say? I'm sorry to tell you, Aiden, your argument's not a good one. It doesn't leave you in a good position when everything's said and done. Okay?
I mean, if
if
you think I'm trying to speak from a position solely of bolstering an argument, then I'm sorry, you have me wrong. I have no problem
this
in
whole
voting
this
things.
whole freaking back and forth has been nothing about bolstering arguments.
Listen. Well, if that was all that I was about, then I wouldn't bring up the fact that the
I'm not
parents still like
saying
DAL.
that's all
Hold
you're
on.
about. Okay,
But
all right, I'll
I
let
know
you
that's
speak.
not necessarily what you're claiming, but I'm more saying this for Joseph because I'm sure that's, well, I have an educated guess that that's his position toward me as far as what I think. But anyways, yeah, good God. All right. This entire thing about Kent, I wouldn't have brought up the fact that the parents still liked DAL after the fact if I'm just trying to push a narrative against Kent. Because, yeah, on a surface level, that does look really bad toward the argument of Kent being responsible. You're right. I agree. But
liability
my
is
responsibility,
clear.
my
Here's my big butt. Here's my big butt.
responsibility,
Don't
I do have a
interrupt
big
him,
butt.
Joseph. Look, don't
I do have a big
interrupt
butt,
him.
Joseph.
Okay,
My wife compliments me regularly for it. So
let him
thank
finish
you.
what
I
he's
appreciate it.
saying. Okay, I want to hear this in its totality, so I have good grounds to come back with either a rebuttal or an agreement. The man's entitled to it.
All right. So the only responsibility I give Ken isn't that he was directly responsible. He wasn't he wasn't there, as Joseph said, and as I've said from the beginning. I never said he was. I didn't say he was on site. But in the very same way that the owner of a carnival has responsibility for one of their machines or some apparatus within that carnival, if something fails within that carnival and someone gets injured or someone gets killed, the onus of responsibility is not going to be on the carny who doesn't know how the machine is operated, who doesn't service the machine. You know, like, the only thing they know about this freaking thing is that you put people on it, you strap them into the seatbelt, and you push the button until the machine runs out of time. That person isn't responsible for those people's deaths. The owner of the carnival is responsible for those people's deaths.
The
because
employee
he should have
answers for
known.
the employer. Yes.
The employer is the one whose responsibility, by virtue of them being the employer, one of their responsibilities is proper maintenance of machinery and proper vigilance in regards to guests at that carnival. So am I
would
saying
replace vigilance with maintenance, but yes.
sure maintenance, but yes. Anyways, I'm not saying if that carnival owner is 2 states away eating dinner with his family when that person dies on that carnival ride, obviously my claim isn't that Carney's he's got blood on his hands. He killed that family. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that because he owned the carnival, he
Okay,
had the
look,
responsibility that ownership entails, that makes
are
him
painting
involved and
yourself
culpable.
into a very bad corner, Aiden, by taking that lane of argument, because you and I both know when you look at case law, it also comes back to partial liability of employees.
Right, and Mark Stoney and
employee-employer relationships is not a complete protection against all liability or any action in law. So when you're talking, I'm just trying to tell you, buddy, okay, the reason that Kent got out of it is because those parents have some very fugly questions to answer. And
if the
I'm
parents
sorry
didn't
to tell
see
you this. No, wait, let
if
me
the
finish.
parents
I let
didn't
you
see that
finish.
Ken Sure, go
Aiden,
ahead.
please, let me finish, okay? Look, the reality is the only person who's in the best position to shed light on this particular event is Mark Stoney. And the reality also exists that those answers are unanswered as of yet. Okay? That means that there is a conspiracy to cover up what would otherwise be common knowledge to the individuals that are also known as the public. So please stop pretending like his liability is a culpability end all for all arguments surrounding this particular situation. It's not.
May I reply?
Yes, you may rebuttal.
Okay. I'm sure you're familiar, Dustin, with the precedent regarding an employee being off duty at the site of employment, not being currently engaged in their contractual obligations of employment. So if you're a worker at that
Please repeat
carnival,
that.
but you're just
Please repeat
what
that. I
I'm
did not hear
saying
that.
is that okay, just as an example, right? Let's go back to this carnival analogy. If you're a carny, but you're not working that day at the carnival, but you're there at the carnival, are you under the same contractual obligations that you would have been under the capacity of your employment?
Not the same, but you are under what is known as a Good Samaritan law that requires you to render assistance and aid in case of any situation that you have the knowledge to help with.
Right. And what we know from the scenario, as was explained to us both by the father and Mark Stoney, as soon as they were made aware that something was amiss, both the father and Mark immediately dropped
This
what
is
they
correct.
were doing in order to attempt to render aid.
100% agree. The only mitigating or aggravating circumstances that apply in this situation is who knew what when. Absolutely. If there is a particular amount of time, beyond the amount of time reasonable to reach the child, that is attributed to any other reason other than the intent of saving that child, you have assumed liability in any wrongdoing to
Yeah.
said child.
And you know what? If Mark and that father had like heard that something was amiss and they were like, you know what, let's finish this game of pool first, then this would be completely different. This entire
be pure
scenario would
speculation.
be complete. But no, I'm talking. The reason why I bring that up, Dustin, is because when Joseph keeps trying to invoke, oh, well, they were right there, and you're saying they don't have any responsibility, but you're saying Kent has responsibility? The reason why I'm saying that is because Mark and the father took everything they possibly could within their responsibility. As soon as they were made aware there was a problem, they did everything they could to render aid. They did everything they possibly could to render aid and make sure that child. No, wait, let me finish, Dustin. Dustin, you are asking me to finish.
All right.
So you want to compare and contrast the reactions people had to this scenario? Mark and the father did everything they could. No, I'm actually asking Joseph here, but because he's the one that's constantly drawing the comparison between Kent and Mark in this. He's the one that did that to begin with. He's the one that's perpetuated that comparison. So I'll follow through on that comparison. Whereas Mark tried, as soon as he was made aware of what happened, to help that child. Kent, when he was made aware of the scenario, passed out a bunch of goddamn waivers. Or sorry, a bunch of flyers for DAL.
Bunch of flyers.
And tried
Right.
to advertise freaking Dinosaur Adventureland to a whole bunch of people. That's what Kent did when he found out.
Where was the kid at?
Mark did everything in his power.
Where was the kid at when he did that?
He did everything in his
Where was
power
the
to
kid
try and
at
help
when
that
Kent
child.
did that? Where was the kid at when Kent did that? Already
Was
in the
there-
hospital?
Look,
Already in the hospital? No,
Wait,
hold on.
Joseph,
Hold on,
Joseph, unless you have firsthand knowledge of this, I'm going to have to interrupt you and ask another question. Were you there? Do you have any firsthand knowledge of this?
Nope.
Okay, then please look, to the extent for which any of us even know what actually happened because we weren't there, this is all speculation. All right? So please allow me to finish my interrogation. Now, when we're getting down to brass tacks, you have stipulated to the fact that knowledge minus time equals liability. So if we have knowledge and there's more time than what is reasonable, we equal liability. Here's a question, Aiden. What would you speculate as to the reason why the parents did not pursue charges?
I mean, with the preface that it's just speculation,
Absolutely.
I would speculate that it's because they already had a good relationship with Kent, and because Kent was not directly there at the time, they did not view him as culpable or responsible, and they did not view him as such through the lens of that good relationship that I had just described and elucidated. And I feel like that was sufficient for them to not want to damage what they probably viewed as Christians and otherwise good and healthy ministry. They probably
Joseph.
did not want to damage the reputation of the ministry because they almost certainly would have viewed everything outside of that event occurring as
Dustin.
evidence of a good ministry.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm waiting
Yes,
for Aiden
Dustin.
to finish. I understand your objection, and it is duly noted and very well structured. Do you, to your knowledge of any recent history, have any knowledge of waivers or release of liability or hold harmless that an individual would have to sign before gaining access to Dinosaur Adventureland?
Guaranteed, as soon as you show up, you sign a waiver. Every person, every time, no matter
Okay,
what.
so I'm sorry, Aiden. As to my knowledge, and this man would know more than any of us here because he's actually been there, we're going to have to go with the idea that these parents signed a waiver, and there was no aggregate relationship with which Kent tried to manipulate people.
And you know what? If my argument was that Kent should have went to prison for this, then you'd have me on the back foot, Dustin. But my argument was never that this was something that should have made him go to jail.
You invoked
Yeah, my argument's never anything tangible. My argument, Joseph.
The law of liability. You have to stand on, Aiden. I'm sorry. You can't both on one hand claim knowledge to the law, and that's the reason for his culpability. On the other hand, say that it's irrelevant because they signed a waiver, because that's also with the confines of the law. Aiden, I'm sorry. You have no leg to stand on.
They signed a waiver. I understand that. I'm not objecting to that. All that I'm saying is that Kent should have put a lifeguard there, and that because he did not put a lifeguard there, a circumstance that was very tragic could have otherwise been avoided.
There's a sign there that explicitly states no lifeguard on duty.
No, I'm saying if he put a lifeguard there, he could have. No, I'm saying if he would have put a lifeguard there. No, Joseph, you can't even deny this.
That's a
what I am
moot point
saying
anyway.
right now is true. What Kent would have had to have paid a lifeguard once or twice a week to have come and watched over those children, what would that be, Joseph? A few $1,000s over the course of a few years? Which one's worth more to you, Joseph? A few $1,000s or the life of a child?
Here's the thing.
Why is it on
Which one's worth more to you?
Why is it on
Which one's worth more?
Am I going to answer? Why is it on
if you answer my question, which one's worth more? A few $1,000s or the life of a child?
when Kent has a sign that says no lifeguard on duty after you've already signed a waiver,
Yeah, you don't want to answer the question.
Why is it on him?
You don't want to answer the question.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Run that mouth.
You don't want to answer the question.
Look, Joseph, you're gonna have to come to a certain level of acceptance that there was culpability. All right, you didn't have people sign a freaking liability waiver because he thought it was completely safe. Okay, just because he had no legal culpability does not. Okay, so I'm not saying you're not valid in your argument. All right, look, if and when we find mitigating or aggravating circumstances implicating Mark Stoney, believe me, I'm going to be the first one in line to call him a piece of shit right to his face. Okay, but until that time, I cannot do so because there are no mitigating or aggravating circumstances. There is only speculation and the absolute fact that there was a waiver signed, making the argument that Kent has liability completely moot. But the moral or portion of the argument exists and remains.
Yeah, I don't even give a shit anymore. It's been very clear that I can't speak my case. It's only Aiden running his fucking mouth.
No,
and
I'll give you all the time you want, buddy. I'll give you all the time you want.
I mean, I don't understand it all. They signed a waiver. There's a sign that says no lifeguard on duty. Mark Stoney and his father were 20 feet away. I don't understand at all how you can blame anybody at all.
Look,
it was a tragic accident. It was a tragic
Can I reframe this a little bit so that it's a little bit easier to understand? Nobody blames the grandma who took too much medication in the morning and runs into the back of somebody because of senility. Okay? Instead, we just take away their driver's license and tell them they can't drive. So the reality is if Kent has too much on his plate and there's an accident that befalls on his property, regardless of the legal implications and whether or not the parents should have had a better eye on their parents or on their children is moot. You can't always do that. So the onus still falls to Kent. I'm sorry. And that's not me being any kind of any way. That's just the fact. Okay. Now, to what extent it's being held, I think it's kind of being used as a punching bag, as a straw man. But I mean, and you have every right to defend it from that position. But when you sit here and say that there was no culpability, that's where I have to say you've crossed the line.
How's that? I mean, hold on. Can I speak? If I sign a waiver, that I want to bungee jump, right? And I bounce my neck off the bridge, does that automatically put everybody who's in charge of that bungee jump on the line, even though I hurt myself? No, it doesn't. You guys are being crazy right now.
You realize the vast majority of legal waivers aren't nearly as ironclad as they claim to be. Like a bunch of legal waivers that people sign, especially when they put themselves in dangerous circumstances, which isn't even what I'm claiming here. Swimming in a lake is not an especially dangerous circumstance, but a lot of those waivers that people put out there for people to sign are not nearly as ironclad as they're made to seem.
Allow me to rebut, okay? Because the reality is what we're dealing with as a drowned child is and can be considered an unforeseen circumstance. All right? Nobody is legally liable, but there is culpability when it comes to the filing of the accident report. Whose property was it? You cannot escape this. I'm sorry, Joseph. Right?
No, I'm not trying to. Excuse me, sir. I'm not trying to escape that. I'm not denying at all that it happened on DAL property. Nobody has ever denied that.
Okay. Well, all right then. So, but then with that, in the incident report, the owner of the property is still held accountable. That's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. If I had to go and try to file a charge against Kent, I'd be using that document, the one that says incident report, where it happened and who and what. That's how I would tie it all together. Right?
That doesn't alleviate the fact that the parents signed a waiver.
There's one fact
You're missing
That's
what I'm
very
saying.
simple here.
You're
May I
missing.
say
Well, hold
something,
on,
Dustin?
please.
I've been
I
pretty
gotta try and
quiet.
make this. But I gotta try and make this clear in Joseph's head because I don't want him to consider this as a personal attack. I'm not trying to attack you, Joseph. I'm not. Okay. When an incident takes place, liability is assigned to the owner. It's just the way it is. That doesn't mean that things are going to happen after the fact, that there's consequences or anything else. The fact of the matter is, an accident that is unforeseen, there is no liability, but there's still culpability. You have to be labeled as the individual that was related to this incident in case it happens in the future. Then there might be some liability, because if you're repeating the same mistakes, right, that represents a pattern of behavior, and then you have to be held responsible.
I can understand that, Dustin. I really can.
Okay,
This
then
is
that's
a
all
one.
I'm trying to
This is
say.
the one. And I can understand that, but this is a one-time deal. This hasn't happened multiple times. One time.
Absolutely. That's completely. I'm not contesting that at all.
Dustin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you think I differ from what you just said there as far as culpability versus liability is concerned?
Not in those legal terms, but when it comes to an unbiased restructuring of the evidence, I do not believe you could hold yourself that way.
My position is basically exactly that which you just elucidated there. It's not that Kent should be charged. It's not. Hold on. I just let me finish. I've been very patient.
Okay.
I've been holding my tongue
Yes,
this
sir.
entire
I'll just
time.
shut my mouth.
So this idea that Kent is liable would imply that I should think that Kent should be behind bars because of it, and I don't. I don't think Kent should go to prison because of it. I don't think that Kent should have gotten in legal trouble because of it, but I do think he was culpable, and I think that for a very simple fact, and it's a fact that cannot be refuted. And that fact is that if a lifeguard was stationed there on that day, that child's death would have been prevented.
Even
That's
though
a
there's
fact.
a sign, even though
That's
there's a sign,
unavoidable.
even
No,
though there's
no. That's an
you let me
unavoidable
speak.
fact, Joseph.
Even though there's a sign that says no lifeguard on duty, and even though that his best friend
Doesn't change
and
what
his
I said.
father were shooting pool.
Doesn't
30 feet
change what I
away.
said.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I know.
change a word of what I
Of course
said.
it doesn't, because it doesn't align with what you're trying to accomplish.
No,
here.
it actually it doesn't, because all that I said was that if a lifeguard was stationed there, that child's death would have been prevented. You can't refute that, Joseph.
You can't confirm that. The dude hit his head underneath the dock and drowned underwater under the dock. You can't confirm that neither. You were just talking.
No, I know for a fact that a lifeguard that is stationed there, that's trained to monitor situations like exactly that happening, would have responded sooner and would have been there to render aid to that child sooner than people that were in a gazebo not paying direct attention to what was going on.
Nobody's arguing that, but there was a sign that says no lifeguard on duty. Now what?
And what am I saying to dispute that, Joseph?
Nothing.
What exactly am I saying to dispute that?
You're not saying nothing.
So
to
then you're
dispute that.
arguing against thin air. You're literally you're literally shadowboxing right now, Joseph.
No, sir. You're trying to get a result without saying anything. That's
No, you're
your deal.
shadowboxing, bro. You're fighting with ghosts.
So you agree with me, right?
I agree
That's
with
what
you.
you're saying? You agree with me? So
No, that's not what I said.
Holy shit, that's
Yeah,
ingenious.
you are smoked.
Joseph,
You are smoked. You are smoked.
So you agree with me?
No, obviously I don't freaking agree with him. I just wanted to let the Hold on, you spoke. Hold on, you spoke. Let me get my chance to speak. Hold on. Let me have my chance to speak.
I'm sorry, Aiden.
No,
You just stuck your foot
obviously I
down.
don't agree. Obviously I don't agree with you on everything that you say, but that's not why I said you're shadowboxing. The reason why I said you're shadowboxing is because you're arguing against a point I did not make. You can shadowbox with somebody. You can shadowbox with something because you're not actually arguing with anything that I said. You're arguing with a straw man right now.
I've argued with everything you've said. What are you talking about?
No, you've been getting around what I've been saying this entire time.
Okay, it's
You've not been directly arguing with me at all.
I understand it's nobody's fault, but really at the end it's Kent's fault. I get what you're doing. Stop it.
Nobody is
Stop it.
liable. Nobody is liable, but someone
Then
is
what are you
culpable,
crying
Joseph.
about? Then what are you
No
crying
one is
about?
liable, but someone is culpable, Joseph. How many times do I need to say it for you to understand? Nobody is liable, but someone is
There you
culpable.
go. No, stop. Nobody's liable. There you go. End of discussion.
Yeah, but someone's culpable.
End of discussion. Nobody's liable.
You're so intellectually honest, Joseph. God,
course.
your intellectual honesty just Stephen Bolins me over, dude. It really
Oh
does.
dear God, you went there.
Cry
You
more.
went there.
Cry more.
Toilet. Do we need your toilet humor, Aiden? Please, let's not. Go
I said
there.
he Stephen Bolined me over with how intellectually honest he was. That's all I said.
That's some toilet humor there if I've ever.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
No,
okay.
but anyways, I mean, there's an example of intellectual dishonesty. I figured I would supply some since Joseph has been supplying it since the beginning of the conversation. I figured I'd also throw some in for the mix as well. But yeah,
not
this
as good as
idea
me.
here, Joseph, you're not as good. We're not as good at being intellectually dishonest. You're right. You beat me there hand and foot, Joseph. Thank you for admitting that. You fucking idiot. You're not as good at intellectual dishonesty as me. You got me beat, bro.
You beat me hand and foot. I'm better than you. You sound like an idiot.
You beat me hand and foot at intellectual dishonesty. You're right.
That's
Yeah,
right. I
you
beat
destroyed me,
I
bro.
beat you hand and foot and mouth and everything else because you.
And intellectual dishonesty. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got me
I
beat,
beat you
bro.
at everything. I beat you at everything
Yeah.
because you're lame. All you are is a crybaby.
I can lick Kent's asshole way better than you can, Aiden. Look at this. Like, give me a break, bro.
Do
That's
you
basically what
realize
you're
you're the only
saying.
one laughing? Do you realize you're the only one laughing?
I mean, like, if it's funny to me,
Yeah,
it's all that
you're
matters to
nothing.
me, bro. It's all
You're
that matters to
nothing.
me. I'm
You're
nothing.
nothing.
I mean, like, considering you're less than nothing, that's funny coming from you. You're a negative. You're a negative person. You're an inversion of a human being.
Cry harder. Cry harder.
Bro, you can't keep up. I'm sorry.
I
Every
can't
time you
deal with
try.
it. You guys.
Every time you try. That's why you keep reverting to the cry harder, because every time you try one of your little freaking barbs, it just doesn't work.
Says you. Cry harder.
That's wow, dude, that was a solid 7th grade argument right there. Says you. No, I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Good one, Joseph.
Well, I'm just saying, when everybody listens this back, they're gonna be laughing at you, not me.
When everybody listens back, have another drink, bro.
Oh God,
I will.
I'm the love of everything.
I will.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and cry tears in your pillow.
You know, typically alcoholism is done for avoidance. What are you avoiding?
Joseph,
what are you avoiding, Joseph?
You're not doing yourself any help if you are drinking, buddy. This argument's. I mean, look.
Yeah, we're not gonna turn this into me drinking. We're gonna.
What are you avoiding, Joseph? Why are you? What are you avoiding?
I'm not avoiding anything. I'm standing
What's the alcohol
here.
covering up?
I'm standing here 10 toes in, and you guys are acting like a bitch, trying to turn this into something else.
I'm so brave. Let me just drink some more of this liquid courage. Glug 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 glug. I'm so
arguing with
brave.
you and
I had nothing to talk about.
Joseph's.
Hovind wasn't
in
there, but
Joseph's-
he's all to blame for this, and blah blah blah. Yeah.
In Joseph's defense,
What a troglodyte. Jesus, you're a retard.
in Joseph's defense, I arguing with you has made me want to drink in the past. I'm just being honest about it, okay?
I endeavor to do so. I don't want people. Look, the entire premise of an argument is to be good at it, Dustin. And if you're not good at it, being good at an argument entails your opponent feeling frustrated. I'm sorry, but that's just how it works.
Yeah, no, I've experienced this
I'm
firsthand.
so sorry.
Aiden.
I'm
Your
just so
particular
awesome.
brand.
You guys don't even understand. I'm just so awesome. You guys don't even understand. Great argument.
That's why you keep drinking, right? Because you're so
That's
awesome.
not the
right,
argument.
Joseph? You
That's
just
not the
drink to
argument,
keep down the
Joseph.
awesomeness.
What are you
Buddy,
saying?
He's
right. I
what-
drink, therefore I'm wrong. What are
no.
you saying?
No, I'm just making fun of you being a drunk. That's all.
Who cares what you think?
The more you drink, the simpler your arguments get. I mean, I love.
I think he's
Joseph.
just kind of simple in general.
No, he's not, dude. Joseph's actually he's got like you might think it's only a 4-banger under the hood, but when you pop the hood, it's a Hemi Barracuda. It's just
He's got one of those sleeper brains. He's got, it looks it looks really simple and like 20 IQ on the outside, but you open that thing up, let me tell you.
Damn it, Aiden, look, I love you to death, okay, but you gotta stop this, man. Why are you attacking somebody you know is impaired? It doesn't look good for you either. Okay, you're punching down at like stop. This is not good.
Bro, if he's gonna come at me, I'm not gonna be all nice with him. All right, he's the one that started this whole thing.
Okay, no,
You're a bitch,
please,
Aiden.
let's not go there. Okay,
I'm a bitch.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah. You keep saying that over the internet, tough guy.
Where are you?
Where am I?
Canada.
Hey, hold on. I'm 7907 County Road 7, Southern Alabama, Repton. Come at me.
I've already given my address.
I tell
dude.
you
I've
exactly
already
where
given
I'm
my
at.
address.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get the first ticket, bro.
shit.
I'll get the
You
first
ain't-
ticket, bro. Dude, I'm not the one talking tough. I'm not the one talking tough. You're the one that needs to come visit me, apparently. You're the one that's got the hard on.
What? You come in here, you run your mouth, you act like you're something.
Bro, you're the one that
and
started this. You started this whole thing, dipshit.
I did. I
Yeah,
come
you
in here
kinda
running
did.
my mouth.
You
I come in here
realize by
running-
implication you're defending Lupin, right? Kinda.
Little bit.
No.
Little bit.
Not a bit. Not a bit.
Not you. Not you, Joseph. Not you.
How the hell am I defending Lupin? That's news to me.
Just by implication, but I mean, I'd have to sit down
Wait. I want that train of thought because maybe it's true. Maybe I have really like horseshoed my way all the way
You
around
have.
to the point.
You
Well, I want
have.
that explained. I want that explained
Fuck,
because
dude,
that's
I don't have
fascinating.
the time to argue about that. We're gonna we might as well just do another stream about it, and I'll show you. I can show you where you've made positive arguments to Lupin's defense, right? Not necessarily for his defense, but to his defense. Okay, you just don't see it. I love you to death, Aiden, but it's right there.
Aiden started it. Come on, Mod. You gotta try harder than that to troll me. Come on, Mod. You know just as well as I do how this started.
Hey, I know something about somebody. Therefore, I'm going to say it on a stream, and therefore, I'm going to be right.
But
no matter
I know
what I
something
say.
about
And-
you.
blah, blah, blah,
You
blah.
went to. That's a private school.
See? You see how it is? We all
His real
know.
name's Clarence. Clarence and his
all know.
parents have a real good marriage.
Show me more.
Yeah,
how
that's
I'm
why
right.
they let that
We
kid
all
drown.
know.
Dude, I'm precluded from going any further than that, and Aiden knows why. So
I do got a friend named Cheddar Bob that shoots himself in the leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all 6 of you punks. I'm just gonna quote 8 Mile and Joseph for the rest of this stream because that's about as productive as actually talking to him.
actually, I'm starting to wonder we're the only 3 in here.
I've actually had very productive conversation with Joseph.
You're in the side chat over here. Oh
Yeah,
no, wait, never
They
mind.
don't want to admit that, Deviant. They don't. They got to see me as not a person.
Hey,
They
Joseph,
Bro,
Joseph,
just earlier
I am
today
not
I told
attacking you.
I
am
just
not
told you
attacking
earlier
you,
today
Joseph.
that I had nothing against you personally, and that's still true. But bro, you kind of pushed me to say the shit that I did today. All right, you can't deny it.
Joseph, I am not attacking you. I am not attacking you. You need to go back and listen. I am not fucking attacking you, okay? I'm just trying to keep things fucking fair.
Dustin never accused you of that.
Okay,
Relax.
all right.
Relax,
I'm just
brother.
double
Never
checking.
accused you
I'm
of
just
that.
double checking, okay? You said they. I am not they. I am me.
All I gotta say is at least you guys make me and Timmy look normal.
Fair enough.
You guys
Petty.
argue like bitches. Me and
That-
Tim got
that-
this down like, pat.
Well, see, that's the whole thing, man. Like, if this conversation was to happen somewhere else, I believe it would go a whole different way.
But Aiden jumps in here and he thinks, oh, well, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do the third.
It's all my fault. No, you're right. It's all my fault. You have no responsibility whatsoever, Joseph. That's spoken like a true alcoholic. Just run away from your responsibility.
See, run your mouth, because I have a whole lot of
Run away from your responsibility.
I
No,
have a
keep
whole
running,
lot.
bro.
See
Keep
how
running.
you do? See how you do? I have a whole lot of
Keep running.
responsibility to it. But you wouldn't know that because you never had a straight up serious conversation with me. You just want to come in here and
Bro,
run your
you
mouth.
can't even take responsibility. You're just trying to put it all at my feet. Like this was all my fault.
Oh,
Okay,
get the
bro.
fuck out of here, dude. Come
You want
on,
to make it
man.
like it's all my fault. Okay, man. Whatever. I'm sure that somebody
Yeah,
believes that narrative. At least you
it's my
do.
fault. It's my fault. You jumped in here acting like a complete dumb fuck. It's my fault.
Yeah.
You're right.
How did I jump in acting like a complete dumb fuck? Can you give me a synopsis? What did I do?
This kid drowned, and it's everybody's fault except the person I believe it is.
My buckshake brings all the does to the yard, and they're like,
Once again,
"He's better
every
than
ti-
yours." Damn
every
right,
time
I can
Joseph
teach
tries
you.
to,
Want to see my
every
rack?
time it's boy, I'll have to charge. But the entire idea that Joseph has been propagating since the beginning here is that I came in like railing on Kent or something like that when I didn't even bring Kent up. I was talking about Lupin and I was talking about something Lupin said, and you brought Kent into the conversation, and then it turned into a giant I'm gonna defend Kent Hovind session, even though he never even got brought up, bro. So every time you try to recount events, it's wrong.
Yeah,
You're lying.
You're right. Everybody is exactly as dumb as you believe them to be, Aiden.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
exactly what I said
I don't
too.
think
It's so
Joseph has the
pertinent to what
presence
I
of
just said.
mind to lie right now. Okay, Aiden.
Maybe just
Stop.
generally, but whatever.
Just stop. Okay, let's not do that.
I mean, whatever, bro.
Well, yeah, you should know better. You're taking advantage of a drunk.
Well, maybe he shouldn't act this way. I'm only mirroring his behavior. If he wants to come at me a little bit more
I'll tell you
civilly
this,
and actually have
you
a
guys sit
conversation,
there
I'm more than
you
happy
guys
to have a
sit there and act
conversation
like-
with the men.
You guys can both sit there and act like you're better, holier than thou. But I'll tell you what,
I don't.
Maybe,
I'm not
maybe
holier
it takes
than
a
you.
drunk like me to call out your bullshit. Maybe
I
it
mean-
does.
No, maybe it takes somebody of sober mind and sound judgment to make a good argument
Oh
to
yeah,
somebody who's.
is that what it is?
I think so. I think that if
Pretty
you were
sure
of sober
drunkard
mind,
is
you
one
would
of those
agree
people
with me.
listed in Revelation that won't inherit the kingdom of heaven, but that's okay.
I'm trying to keep things above the belt. Okay, you guys are both hitting each other in the nuts right now, right? I'm trying to call balls and strikes at the expense of both of your guys' friendships, and just by trying to keep it straight. So you can keep bickering about this, really, when we've gone over this whole ground with a backhoe and a fucking filled cow, and it's well fertilized, and we don't need to do anything else, or we could just do it again, I guess.
Man, Lupin sure is a bad person, huh, guys? What did you just say about Kent? What did you say about Kent?
Well, there's more bullshit.
That's basically how it started, bro. That's how it started. It was like Lupin said
You're
something
not
about this
wrong.
thing that happened.
You're not wrong, Eden. Okay, but you're not doing it yourself any favor. Okay, I mean, I've spoken my piece. I'm trying to make peace. Please, for the love of God, drop this and move on to something else.
Yes.
What was it that Romans 12:21 said? Don't match hate. Don't match evil with evil, but match evil with good. Well, you know what? I think that we should just reverse that. We should make that Romans 21:12, which says antagonize as often as possible. I think that's a much better way of living. No, I don't. And that's why I didn't antagonize this conversation. I didn't antagonize you, Joseph. I didn't
You
try to
did
start an
not?
argument with you.
I mean, you've come close to the line, but you haven't crossed it.
Bro, I didn't antagonize him, alright? I was literally trying to talk about Lupin with Deviant because I was just trying to have a ha-ha funny little joke, and then it turned into freaking Mortal Kombat.
Right, and I mean, granted, you've responded with equal force, and you haven't crossed that line. You've come close, but you haven't crossed it. I'm just I'll call balls and strikes, and same thing with
I've got my
Joseph.
hand. I've got my hand on the red phone right now, Dustin. I got my hand on it. I can pick it up at any moment.
Are you acknowledging to be being a J6er? Is that what's going on right here? Are
I
you
got
with
my hand on the
Enrique
red phone.
Tarvez with the Proud Boys over there? Like,
I got my hand on the red phone, Dustin. I'm
I
referring to the
imagine.
red phone that they had with a fucking direct line to the Soviet Union, you jack.
I know, Aiden, but most people here are too young to even remember that. I lived when it was
I'm too young to directly
inactive.
remember that, Deviant. I wasn't even. The Soviet Union was
know, but
gone for almost a decade when I came into this world.
I
I thought
know.
that was a reference to Batman. I'll be honest with you. Wasn't going the same direction over here, okay? The red phone. What are we talking about? Are you guys gonna shoot a Trump head in the sky and then he's gonna jump out of nowhere and beat the shit out of him? What's going on here?
No. No, I'm about to call Moscow and say some very stern words. Let's just put it that way.
We don't want another Cuban crisis, okay?
But you can imagine though, Deviant, like the 20 minutes back in the 80s between when like the Minuteman missiles and the Russian missiles like hit
Oh my-
America and the continental, like the shit talk over that red phone would just have to be legendary, right? Like it would
talk
just
about
be next
kicking
level.
scary times. Was it 80? Was it 81 or 82? When they got the wrong order. They got the order to push the button.
Oh, you're talking about when I think it was the Americans launched a polar expedition probe or something like that, and the Soviets, like their automated defense system, freaked out over it, and the only thing that basically stopped it was the fact that the operator thought, well, why would they only launch one missile? That doesn't make any
Yes.
sense.
Yes, but they were literally sitting with the finger on the button.
Oh yeah, well, and I mean, in Cuba itself, during the missile crisis, there's also that incident where they dropped depth charges at that one Soviet sub
Right,
because
yeah.
to try to get it to surface.
Yep.
And the confusion was like, oh, well, I guess they're fighting out there. And I think it was the captain and the political officer were both like, yep, let's push the button. And the only person that said no was like the second in command. I don't even remember. It's a shame I don't remember his name because he saved the whole freaking human race, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Is Dustin that guy? Is Dustin the second in command on the sub that's like, don't launch the nuke, don't do it?
He could possibly be. He's the guy. Who
That depends on
everyone
the
thinks he's
scenario.
gonna
I mean,
push that button. But when it comes down to it, he's the voice of reason and being like, "Hey guys, I know." And when everyone kind of stops and realizes, when the guy who has the shortest fuse in history of humanity says, "Okay, let's take a step back and think this through." People are gonna listen, okay?
I mean, I'm not sure I appreciate this defense.
Look, Joseph, look, Joseph, all I'm saying is turn the ships around, don't put them in Cuba, and we'll be fine, okay? Just turn the fleet around, and everything will be okay.
It's more like don't move missiles into Greenland.
I'm telling you, bro, he's trying to put them up in Cuba right now, and I'm waving my finger. Nuh-uh, you're not doing it. I mean, sure, I've got missiles in Turkey right now, but I mean, who cares, right?
Fuck, dude. With the submarine launchables, like it doesn't matter. Like this whole posturing over land is ridiculous. You can launch a nuke from anywhere in the ocean.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was basically just a matter of looking weak on the political stage. Yeah, you're right.
That's all it was.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It was an image thing. Yeah, with nuclear sub technology, you can just launch anywhere in the world, and it's
They don't
functionally
even need
irrelevant.
to do that. They just leave nukes across the ocean floor and detonate them in sequence. We're fucked. You can't do anything about that. There's no counterwave. Even if you did, it was no guarantee it would stop.
Just turn the ships around, Joseph. It'll be okay. Are you there, Joseph? Are you all right? Ground control to Major Joseph.
Yeah, I'm here. Am I not giving you the reaction you want?
Well, that depends. Are you still pissed off right
Yeah,
now?
Exactly. Right. So the answer is no. I'm not giving you
This
the reaction
is
you want.
Aiden calling to Joseph. I know that you are pissed, but it's okay. The argument's
Let him
over
be
now.
pissed in peace if that's the case. If that's the case, let him
Right.
be pissed in peace and calm down.
Right, like who
and breathe.
cares? Who cares?
And
Like you're the only one
Joseph
getting
is a
joy
nice
out of this.
guy.
Like I'm trying to talk to you.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you not to be pissed, bro. I'm not telling you to be
Who
pissed.
gives a fuck what you want, man? You are running your mouth. Like seriously. I've been sitting here quiet the whole time. And
Chill
you
out,
are
Joseph. It's all good. It's all good,
Yeah,
Joseph. It's
exactly.
all good.
Yeah, I know it
All
is.
good. Calm
I know.
down.
I know.
Calm down.
I know it's all
Calm
good.
down.
You got it. You
Joseph,
have to
calm
live
down. Are you
your
okay?
life. Yeah, I'm
Joseph, are you
perfect.
okay? Joseph, are you okay? Are you okay, Joseph?
Aiden, let the man be.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by smooth Aiden. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bam-bam. All right, I'm done. I'm done. It's over.
Good. Can we talk about Stanislav Petrov instead?
Oh, that's his name. Cool.
Yes, the guy.
Cool.
It was 1983. Soviet nuclear false alarm incident. He was the guy who said,
That's a direct quote, by the way.
Yes, but in Russian, so it was more like, oh. Yes.
Oh, thanks, Mod. I wasn't actually trying, but I appreciate it.
I also have to say that Dustin's song to Bruce last week.
Oh my god, I can't top that.
No, you can't. I'm sorry.
It's not gonna happen.
I want to always.
Tell me how you really feel, Joseph. Jeez. That was really necessary. Good one, Joseph.
Say what?
100%.
Oh, he was like, fucking fag. And then he just went quiet.
Unadulterated, right off the top of the head, not even with reference, even right to Bruce from my heart.
Yes, it was.
I mean, mine was serviceable. Mine was serviceable, but yours was just chef's kiss. You know,
Mhm.
like only comes around once a generation. That kind of talent.
That wasn't talent, okay? No, that was like a stroke of idiot savantism, okay?
But idiot savants are some of the greatest people ever, though.
Yes.
Like they're just awesome.
Yes. I'm a huge fan. I've always wanted to be one, but I
Right?
never.
I could never hope to be a tenth that interesting.
without
but-
looking.
There's too
Right.
much idiocy, not a savant in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my issue.
They forgot the savant. They just put idiot.
Yep. Complete fail.
That's right.
What can I do? What can I do? I have a broken DNA.
Terry, why don't you come on here so I can make fun of you? I need some new blood. Come on, somebody else.
Aiden, you're
Somebody,
freaking
anybody.
sociopath.
What's that, Deviant?
I said, Aiden, you're a freaking sociopath.
Why? What? What?
Going around looking for oh, I want blood. I want blood.
What next? What?
I want to
What? You got a problem,
terrorize
Deviant?
someone verbally.
I would make a joke about how if I was in person, I'd be like giving you little shoves as I was like, what? But then I know that Sid would just come and like bayonet me through the chest, so I probably shouldn't do that.
No, you should.
No, I
He's
shouldn't.
also a
I
very
wouldn't do
good,
that anyway. I
He's
obviously
also a
wouldn't do
very
that.
good marksman, so you shouldn't.
I mean, the man hits the point like Hawkeye.
Like Popeye
Let's-
or Cockeye?
Like Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Okay.
Hawkeye. No, like Aiden. Like, look, the only person I cringe when it comes up to arguing about something, it's Aiden. I have to wait and be patient for him to mess up, right? And then I gotta capitalize on it. He doesn't always let me do it. So, like, yeah.
Everybody, guess who's here?
Who's here? Who's this guy?
This guy.
I've got entirely too much dough.
Shut up, Christian.
Okay.
Christian.
Shut up, Christian. Get out of here. You know what, Christian? I'm sick of you.
Okay, I agree.
Sick of your crap.
But I did not agree to get out of here.
Well, you know, you better not do that because I want somebody to argue with.
Okay, well, I'm very tired.
I actually really don't
Yeah,
want to
I
argue.
imagine
I'm just trying to be entertaining.
that man has a new baby. I can only imagine how tired he is.
You'll have to circle back around for the smoke because it's not available at the present time.
The baby's got all the smoke. Oh, that's Haggard.
Scooby, come on, let's go for a walk.
That's Haggard.
Come on.
Man.
Come on, Scooby.
What happened?
Scooby, come on.
To what?
What didn't happen?
What was going on here? I mean, I walked away and came back. Everything
I straightened it out
all
for you,
crazy
buddy.
like.
I did everything I could to run interference and try to like call it a clean fight. But
Look,
the two people
it only
were,
turned into the Gaza Strip for like 20 minutes there, okay?
I
It's
mean,
fine.
I was thinking more like King Kong versus Godzilla. Like, it was getting bad.
Just buildings getting torn out and being used as billy clubs. Hell yeah, it's my kind of fight.
I'm sitting there like, okay, that's the Empire State Building, and it is flying through the air. like why? It doesn't even make sense.
There goes the One World Trade Center. They're probably not going to replace that again. Oh, crap.
Too bad for New York.
I must say, the One World Trade Center looks like way cooler as a building than the original World Trade Center. I do just have to say. I mean, look, original World Trade Center is iconic, and I can't ever take that away from it. But the new building just looks cooler, I have to say.
So you're like a terrorist now. Oh.
I'm just saying they should have
you hate
actually built.
America.
No, they should have built the Ground Zero Mosque. That's what I'm saying, Christian.
That's not
I love how they called it.
necessary.
I love how they called it the Ground Zero Mosque, even though it was like 8 blocks away from the. It wasn't even like on the site at all, and they were like the Ground Zero Mosque. It's like it never was gonna be there.
It's probably from where whoever paid for all of it just sat there and watched it go down. That's why they're calling it Ground Zero.
That's a funny to laugh at.
Aiden's way of thanking the terrorists. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That is so low. Damn. Like, this is why I don't
didn't
like
actually.
Missy Mod right now. This
She's
stuff
just
right here,
trolling,
'cause
bro. She's just
Well,
trolling.
but she's not really trolling though. Like, I mean, like well, okay, you can say that, but I don't see it that way. I think they're look. You can't take fun at somebody without there being a kernel of truth in what you're saying.
I have
That is the
successfully
reason that I
convinced
call
Scooby to
Aiden
come on a
Aiden.
walk.
Oh, Scooby.
Hold on, for Deviant's sake, let me show Scooby.
Hey, tell Scooby that I said hey, Aiden. But I'm
Scooby.
not saying hey to you. It's just the dog.
Scooby. Hi, Scooby.
Say hi, Scooby.
Scooby.
He's gonna go on a walk. He's got his harness, and he's also
I'm
got
serious.
his
Up
jacket
until
because
now,
it's cold.
I thought
He's got a
Scooby was
jacket?
code word for a joint.
No, he's my dog.
Until just now, I literally thought that
You thought
was
that
code
dog's
for
been
John.
drugs this whole time?
He's only
Yes.
drugs like most of the time.
He's not drugs all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell everybody to eat shit, missing mod, and here's one for you too: eat shit, missing mod. I tell absolutely. I've even told. Well, I haven't told
Round
my
2,
grandma.
fight.
I don't believe I told my dad before he died, but other than that, I think I've told everyone in my life at one point or another to eat shit.
Everybody,
Yeah.
guess what?
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 Fire Truck is going to be having a show February 7th.
February
cool.
7th.
Yay! Sweet.
Is that
Get
when
him,
he
Chuck.
takes on Daniel?
Yeah.
Over
I
what?
The
can't
Chuck
wait.
is back in town. The Chuck is back in town.
No, that is too rich. The Chuck's back in town. Yeah, dude, you bring
I'm in a
back
very
memories.
musical mood today.
I could tell. Holy shit! You just brought back so many acid flashes. Like, damn.
Good times. Good times.
Oh wow,
Settings.
that brought me
Joseph, are
back
you
to
all
some
right, buddy?
memories I haven't thought of in a
Simpler
long time.
times, Dustin. Simpler times.
Missing gray matter. I do not like you. Okay, don't like you.
Missing gray matter.
This is a
All
weird
right.
relationship.
No, she keeps insisting that I have a thing for. Look, I would sooner date your dog. All right. Seriously, put blonde hair on her lipstick. I'd take her out. God knows what would happen.
Why don't you guys get a ring?
Christian.
Everybody, Joseph, are you all right?
I'm thinking if you took Maud out for dinner
I didn't
or
say
a date
Maud.
or
I said her
something.
dog.
Nope, I'm saying Maud because Maud would kick your ass.
Well, I wouldn't hit her or anything like that, but
You wouldn't have time.
I
You'd be
definitely wouldn't
sleeping
take her
before you
out.
realized
He said you wouldn't have
even
time.
open the door.
I mean, look, the beautiful thing about that is I know how to draft an affidavit. I know the law well enough to make somebody's day really bad.
Azo. How's your mom been? She's still
good,
doing good? She's holding up all right? That's good. Well, that's
For
good.
now,
I'm glad.
until she hears me out you screaming again.
No, I'm glad to hear that, man.
Hold on, everyone. Joseph, are you all right, buddy?
Good.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Just check on you a little.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Just make sure everyone's all right. But yeah, it's so awesome. Fire Truck's having a show.
I know. Finally, which what was the date?
He said February 7th.
Ooh.
Yeah, 'cause I stepped away for a second, so I missed that announcement. So cool.
Yeah. Oh, we all miss Father Chuck.
Mhm. It's about time. He coming back to us. Doodly doodly doo. Hey.
I'm trying to place that. That must be like Mozart. I don't know, Bach, Beethoven. Trying to figure out where that comes from. You know, it's not impressive to me to have a large vocabulary because you know what other animal shares that in common? A parrot. Oh,
But
Aiden
parrots
took
are
off.
pretty badass.
I mean, do you have to question?
I mean,
the
they
depth?
look kind of stupid, but they are kind of smart. I mean, everything is.
They look.
I wouldn't believe.
Imagine what they look like without any feathers. Now you're looking at something stupid.
Yeah, they look really stupid. But come on, even most people look kind of stupid without their clothes. Imagine how we would look without our skin.
I mean, speak for yourself.
I am.
I mean, Aiden, I don't want to know what you look like naked. Please don't show that. Okay, I know you like to show
I'm
your
not
dog.
saying.
Well, I don't know what you
I'm
are
not
saying. I just wanted it on the
anything
record. I
of
don't
the
want to
sort.
see you naked. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. I figure it needs to be said. It's one of those
Yeah,
things.
no, the feeling is mutual, Dustin. Don't worry. The
Kind of
feeling
like,
is
you know
mutual.
how they put the you know how they put the label on the curling iron, not for other orifices. You know, I just want that label out there. Just
Oh God! Oh no!
I was
And
hoping you
Dustin's
I
would
didn't
talking
know
go
that
about
was
the
a thing,
more
swearing.
on
Dustin.
the
Thank you for
without
letting me know
disclaiming.
about that.
Yeah, he was one of the first.
Everybody, sorry, everyone. It's been hours.
you gonna shut it off?
All right.
Yeah,
That's fine.
sorry.
No big deal, buddy.
That's okay.
Next time, just shut it off and don't say
Are we
nothing.
shutting
Like,
down?
walk out
Sorry,
of here.
the internet cut out for me. Are we shutting down?
Yeah, we're shutting down, buddy. I love you,
No, that's
Aiden,
okay.
man. You're my best
That's
friend,
cool.
and so are you, Joey. Guys, like I
Likewise,
want to
Dustin.
broker.
Hey,
I want to
God's love to
broker
all
a
my brothers